Hi, everybody, and welcome to Stanky Field in Mobile, Alabama for today's elimination round ball game between Louisiana Lafayette and Florida International. Louisiana Lafayette coming in as the number 2 seed in the Sun Belt Conference tournament this year. Florida International as the number 3 seed. It's been a very hot, sultry 4 days here in Mobile, and today's game kind of becomes the survival of the fittest, Todd.
Well, it certainly does, Gary. Can the pitching staffs hold up? That's going to be a key to these games today. Whoever has the best pitching and whoever is the fittest in that area will come out the winner today.
Louisiana Lafayette is a team that led the nation for most of the year in cumulative earned run average with a below 3.0 earned run average. Their ERA is a team a little bit over that right now, but of course they've got the pitching. But when you're playing your 5th game in 4 days, even that is taxed a little bit, isn't it?
No doubt about it. And Tony Robichaux is having to play a little bit of a chess game today to figure out who he can use not only in this game, but if the Cajuns were to get to the championship game, who they would come back with in game 2.
There are some great offensive players in today's ball game on both teams. First of all, for Florida International, they've got the player of the year in the lineup, and that's catcher Al Corbeil. This is a young guy that led the team in hitting with an even .400 average throughout the year, which is quite an accomplishment. And not only that, he's a real team leader for this baseball team, and he'll be leading the way for the Golden Panthers this afternoon, hopefully to get a bunch of hits off of that taxed pitching that we will see. Nathan Nelson will lead the way for Louisiana Lafayette, and he's an all-conference player too.
.368 batting average on the season. Not only is he a great hitter, but he's also great on the base pass. He has 28 stolen bases during the course of the season and leads a very powerful Cajun lineup.
I think the key to this tournament now, as we have talked to the coaches, of course, is the pitching and how well they can stand up on both sides.
And how many pitchers you end up using in this first game determines how you can come back in the second game here today to face South Alabama.
All right, we're glad to have you along with us here today. Gary Gallup along with Todd Hamilton. We'll be calling the play-by-play, and we've got a great one coming up between Louisiana Lafayette and Florida International, and we'll be back here at Stanky Field in just a moment. All right, hi everybody, and welcome back to Stanky Field. We're about ready to get it underway. Gary Gallup along with Todd Hamilton, and Florida International will be the visiting team, and of course Louisiana Lafayette will be the home team today. Eric Templet will be on the hill. He's won 7 ball games this year and lost 2. His earned run average is 4.19, and we're about ready to get it underway. Glad you're along with us for the telecast today. Here is your lineup for FIU. Polk will lead off, followed by Eric Miller. He'll be followed by Al Corbeil. Michael Quintana will bat 4th. Gus Alfonso will hit in the number 5 spot. Raul Pujol, followed by Matt Huntington. Tino Burgos at second base, and Todd Sherbinsky will be the designated hitter. And Willie Colazo will be on the mound. Your umpires today behind the plate will be David Brooks. He'll be your home plate umpire as Polk steps in and takes the first pitch of this elimination ball game for ball 1. Just underway here, top half of the first inning. The winner, of course, will go on to play South Alabama for the championship of the tournament. Eric Templet on the hill for Louisiana Lafayette this afternoon. Big, strong right-hander. Hits the outside corner with a strike, so that will send the count to 2 balls and 1 strike.
Fastball, curveball, split finger fastball, and a changeup. So you'll see a variety of pitches from Templet today.
And he misses. Well, he gets the outside corner for a strike 2, and that'll even it up. Templet has worked this year in 77 1/3 innings. He's given up 40 runs, 71 hits, struck out 67, and walked 22. As Barry Paulk takes the next pitch, high and away for ball 3. So the pitcher Templet, Todd, will go full count to the first batter of the afternoon.
And you've got to make a good pitch here to Paulk, because if he gets on base, he is ever so dangerous.
3-2 pitch on the way to him, and he rips it right field. The right fielder, Clark, going back. He's not going to get to that one. It's going to go all the way to the wall. And you can see Paulk digging into second base as he slides in with a double. So a good start for FIU as Paulk takes it all the way to the wall for a double. And FIU has the first batter on at second base. Paulk on the year with 20 doubles this year now. You can see that ball carry all the way to the fence, barely one hopped at the bottom of the wall before Clark could pick it up and return it back into the infield.
Yeah, Paulk showing you that speed, too, because as soon as he got around first base, he knew he was going to get a double, and a great job right there by the FIU leadoff hitter.
So that's going to send up Eric Miller, the shortstop out of Tempe, Arizona. Here is a ground ball through the hole out into right field as Paulk will come around third base. Clark picks it up. Here's a throw to the plate. Not in time. And right off the bat, Florida International jumps on top 1-0.
And, Gary, that's what FIU wants to do. They want to score some runs early and get Colazo, their pitcher, a little bit of confidence. And this is the way they like to play, especially when they get Paulk on base. If they can get him on and get him into scoring position right off the bat as we look at it again, Miller just took a changeup up and in and just ripped it through the right side, and it executes the hit and the first run of the game for FIU.
And RBI number 27 on the year for Eric Miller, the shortstop. And here is your player of the year in the Sun Belt Conference as Templet glares down, and Corbeil awaits the first pitch and takes it outside for ball 1.
Saw him in a game earlier this year up at Western Kentucky. In a game he hit 2 home runs in one game, and both of them were pretty good pokes out of Nick Dennis Field.
Next pitch is in there for a strike. Corbeil is 6 feet tall, 180-pounder, a junior out of Sunrise, Florida. Came to the Florida International Golden Jaguars from Manatee Community College. Boy, he's done a great job for them. Hit that one on the handle of the bat and fouled it back up into the stands. Wears number 19 on his back. This guy does it all for him.
He's the blue-collar guy, and talking to Danny Price, he says, you know, he just gets the hard hat, puts it on every day, comes out and gives it everything he has. And those are the kind of players that you like to have on a ball club.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Little left-handed batter stands straight away in the box, and here is the pitch. Nice pitch by Templet as the catcher, Danny Mazziotti, had set up on the outside of the plate, and he hit the target perfectly. That'll even it up at 2-2. Let's look at that again.
Ooh, that was a good spot that time by the catcher, Mazziotti.
And a check swing ever so close by Corbeil. There goes the runner, and the ball is hit it into short center field. The center fielder, Feehan, is waiting on it, and he'll have plenty of room to make the play on this one. So 1 man is gone here in the top half of the first inning for FIU on the flyout. And retreating back to first base goes Eric Miller. That'll bring up Michael Quintana playing out in right field. He's a junior out of Miami. Quintana hitting .366 this year, has a couple of home runs and 16 RBIs as he takes a look down to Danny Price going through a series of signals in the third base coaching box. Quintana nods his head as if to say, yep, I got him, coach.
He's got them all and going to get in there and see what he can do. Interesting in this lineup, there are 5 players for FIU hitting .300 or better.
Quintana also a left-hander facing the right-hander Eric Templet, and the pitch is down low to him for ball 1. And again, Quintana stepping out, and there you see Danny Price, the coach for FIU. FIU, the Sun Belt Conference tournament winners last year. And later on today, South Alabama, who won the regular season last year and kind of with a down year this year, but boy, they have just flown through this conference tournament. They'll be playing the winner of this ball game for the conference championship a little bit later on.
And you go back to last year, FIU flew through the tournament to get to the finals and then beat Western Kentucky 3-2 in the championship game on Saturday.
Templet not taking any chances with Eric Miller over at first base as he continues to throw over on the play. Miller this year has got 19 stolen bases in 27 attempts. Of course, the leader is Barry Polk with 40, but he has the second most on the team. Here's a fly ball left field. The left fielder Hawkins going back to the fence. That ball is going to be off the top of the fence. Hawkins will pick it up, and here come the runners as holding at third base will be Eric Miller. And Michael Quintana will chug into second base with a stand-up double, and FIU will have runners at second and third with one man out and one run already in here in the top half of the first inning.
That for Florida International, their 114th double of the season as we look at it again. Taken to the opposite field on a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and that ball was pretty well tagged here in this ballpark.
That's going to send Tony Robichaux out to the mound, and there you can see Michael Quintana and Eric Miller actually coming around third base, and holding on there as Will Hawkins picked it up. Big smile on Michael Quintana's face as he ripped that ball off the top part of the bottom fence out there. And right now we got a conference going on out on the mound as Quintana puts his hat back on, and FIU is in business. There's Tony Robichaux with his troops gathered around him. And they're going to talk about it here as FIU is off to a bang-bang start here in the top half of the first inning.
And something that the Cajuns didn't need to happen was for this start for FIU, and already activity starting up in the bullpen for Louisiana as Brian Babin, the left-hander, goes down to start loosening up.
So Templet, having his problems here in the top half of the first inning, has given up 2 doubles and a single, and that's going to send up Gus Alfonso, the third Sacra junior out of Miami. He hits .313 with 4 home runs and 34 RBIs. He's a right-handed batter, and here is a pitch from Templet, and it's outside for ball 1. Alfonso back out of the box momentarily as he checks the signs and now is back in ready to go. He is a junior. Templet out of the stretch, and here is the 1-0 pitch, and it's fouled back out of play. So that will even count now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alfonso batting in the number 5 spot for FIU. They've got runners at second and third, and 1 run in already here in the top half of the first inning. A start that they like, and a start that Louisiana and Lafayette not too fond of right now. Here's the pitch to the plate, and the fastball is in there for a strike. Nice job by Templet on that one, and it goes to 1-2.
Right on the black on the inside part of the plate to the right-hand batter. Excellent pitch. As you kind of see, the third baseman for Louisiana, Nelson, and the first baseman, Poche, thinking a possible bunt, but not with 2 strikes. A great pitch there as they get the strikeout.
And Alfonso kind of waved at that one, and that'll be out number 2, strikeout number 1 for Eric Templet in the ball game. Take another look at this pitch here.
Oh, excellent curveball, and he really got Alfonso to chase that one on the outside part of the plate. And Gus wasn't particularly happy either.
No, he wasn't. So we've got 2 men gone here in the top half of the first inning, and that's going to bring up Raul Pujol, the first baseman, a junior out of Miami, hitting .296 on the year, and takes a fastball inside to start him off for ball 1. Pujol, the right-hander, will stand slightly open up in the batter's box. And the outfield will play him straight away. Here's a chopper third base side, and that's going to roll foul. Danny Price will field it over there. Nice job by the coach.
Good play, yeah. We won't give him an error on that one. What an interesting guy he is. He's been at Florida International ever since he was a player there, so he certainly has a rich heritage with that program.
All right, here's the 1-1 pitch, and a breaking ball missed a little bit high for ball 2, so the count goes to 2-1. Raul Pujol is 6'1", 215-pounder, a junior, transferred actually to Florida International from St. Thomas University. 2-1 pitch on the way to him, and a fly ball right field. Clark on his horse out there near the fence, and he'll run it down right in front of the Sun Belt Conference sign, and that'll be it for FIU. Finally here in the top half of the first inning. But they did come up with 1 run On 3 base hits, there were no errors and 2 were left on. We'll be back for the bottom of the first in a moment. Stanky Field 1-0 as FIU plates a run on 3 hits. In the top half of the inning, a leadoff double by Barry Falk all the way to the fence, and then came around on a single RBI by Eric Miller. Let's take a look at the defense around the horn. It'll be Huntingford out in left, Falk in center, and Quintana in right. Alfonso at third, Miller at short, Burgos at second, and Pujol at first. Of course, Willie Collazo on the mound, and Al Corbeil will be behind the plate for FIU. Colazo this year with a record of 6-5 and 4.65. His earned run average as he gathers his troops out there on the mound to give a little encouragement to him as his teammates have staked him to a 1-0 lead here in the first inning. So let's see what Louisiana Lafayette can do here in their half. Here's your batting lineup for the Ragin Cajuns. Leading off will be Steve Feehan. He'll be followed by Ryan Gill. Nathan Nelson will bat third. Danny Mazziotti batting fourth. Will Hawkins fifth. Tommy Clark sixth. Jess Poche seventh. Scott Atwood eighth. And Eric Heidel, the shortstop, will hit in the number 9 spot. So bottom half of the first inning of a 1-0 ball game here in an elimination ball game. The loser of this one will go home. This is really an important game for Florida International, Todd, because I think they're kind of battling for survival as Stephen Feehan steps up to the plate for the Ragin Cajuns, hitting .308, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, and squares around and then takes the pitch up high for ball 1.
Danny Price very concerned about what happens today, whether or not they potentially get an NCAA bid.
I think that concern could be very warranted because there are some great ball clubs coming out of the Sun Belt this year, of course, and Louisiana Lafayette hosting this year, which is great for the league, and the Yono Privateers hoping and anxiously awaiting Monday to see what happens on that selection Monday.
Well, talking with both coaches, they seem to think that the Privateers will get in based on their play, particularly in the latter stages of the season.
Swing and a miss by Feehan, and he goes out on strikes. So Colazo strikes at Stephen Feehan to lead things off here in the bottom half of the first inning for the Ragin Cajuns. Colazo, the little left-hander, not overpowering, and you can see great placement on that pitch on the outside corners down low, and Feehan just couldn't catch up with it.
As Danny Price told us before the game, Colazo is very crafty on the mound.
As Ryan Gill rips it left field for a base hit. So the Ragin Cajuns will have their first runner of the afternoon. Gill, a .346 hitter coming into the ball game, is on base with the single to left. And that was a fastball that was right down the pipe, and you can see Gill got around on it very well and drove it right out into the left field for the base hit. So the Ragin Cajuns have a man aboard, and Nathan Nelson at the plate, the third sacker, and here is a throw over to first base as Gill will get back safely.
Tell you what, he's put up some very impressive numbers coming into the tournament. Was hitting at .370 and has kept that number right up there at about .368 coming into play today, and a member of the first team All-Sun Belt Conference this year.
Ball 1 to him as Nathan Nelson, the strong right-hander, standing in the box, waiting for Willie Collazo at the belt, and here is the pitch. Gill drives it center field. The center fielder, Paul, going back in front of the fence and will have plenty of room to make the grab, and that will send Gill back to first base, and that'll be out number 2 here in the bottom half of the first inning. So Gill back on the bag at first base after a long fly ball off the bat of Nathan Nelson for the second out. And Barry Falk out there. Boy, he can roam around that center field for you.
Probably has some of the best speed I think I've seen in quite a while in this conference.
That's going to send up Danny Mazziotti hitting .291, 13 home runs, 36 RBIs this year. And, of course, Mazziotti, the 2-time All-Sun Belt Conference catcher for Louisiana Lafayette, as an easy throw goes over to first base. And Gill gets back to the bag safely. Gill's got 18 stolen bases this year in 25 attempts, and Colazo will go back over there once again. So they're not going to take any chances with him. Colazo with 10 pickoffs this year, so he's got a great move over there. Here is the pitch outside to the batter, Mazziotti.
And it's a sneaky move that Colazo has over there. He's very quick in making that pitch, and he'll to first base, and he'll really try to catch you napping if he can, just like that right there.
Field gets back safely once again. 2 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the first inning of a 1-0 ball game as FIU plated 1 on 3 base hits in the top half of the first inning. Colazo at the belt, and here's a pitch to the plate. Just missed high with that one, a little bit outside for ball 2, so the count goes to 2-0. Mazziotti, a good hitter out of Houston, Texas. Colazo goes outside again, and it's ball 3. So Mazziotti with a count of 3 balls and no strikes now as Colazo falls behind the hitter.
You know, not only is Mazziotti an excellent hitter, he's also an excellent defensive player as well. He's only committed 5 errors this season.
He came to Louisiana Lafayette out of San Jacinto Junior College in Texas a couple of years ago. 3 balls and 1 strike. Colazo at the belt, and here's the 3-1 pitch. Mazziotti rips it right center field. The right fielder moving over after Quintana, and he'll be able to chase it down for the out, and that'll retire the Ragin Cajuns here in the bottom half of the second inning. So for Louisiana Lafayette, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 1 man is left on the base paths. We'll come back in a moment for the top of the second. Second inning, Florida International leading in this elimination game by a score of 1-0, and for the Golden Panthers in the second, it's going to be the number 6, 7, and or make it 7, 8, and 9 hitters as they'll bat in the bottom of the order here in the second. But they managed to come up with a run on 3 base hits. This is Eddie Stanky Field in Mobile, Alabama. Glad to have you along with us today. Eric Templet, the big right-hander, out on the hill.
Templet's got to have a little better luck in this inning than he did in the first. He worked the count deep to a number of hitters in that first inning.
Templet, 6'2", 190-pounder out of Gonzales, Louisiana, and works to the first batter, Will Hawkins, up high for ball 1. Hawkins just getting back into the lineup as a regular. He was out for the series against University of New Orleans a week ago. Huntingford, the batter. Ball 2 to him. He's a junior out of Vancouver, British Columbia. And takes that pitch for ball 3. So it's 3-0. Templet doesn't want to walk the leadoff man here in the top of the second inning, and he does on 4 straight pitches.
And that's not a good sign.
So that's the first walk given up by the right-hander, Eric Templet. Take a look at Tony Robichaux in the dugout, blowing a big old bubble over there, taking a look and surveying things out there on the field.
And he's got to be concerned with how his pitching will hang around today. I mean, it is do-or-die situation as we talked about in the open, and Babin is still loosening up in the bullpen along the left side for the Cajuns.
Tino Burgos is the batter, and he swings on the first pitch, lofts a fly ball to center field, and that'll be an easy catch for Stephen Feehan for out number 1. So 1 man is gone, 1 man is on here in the top half of the second inning, and that's going to bring up Todd Sherbinski, the designated hitter out of Coral Springs, Florida.
Number 1, Todd Sherbinski.
A little bit of a wind blowing out towards the left field line. Old Glory out there in right center field, waving at about, I would say 8 to 10 miles an hour this afternoon. As Sherbinski, the designated hitter, steps up to the plate. Has his signals from his coach Danny Price, 352 his average, a home run, 18 RBIs on the year. A right-handed batter, and there is a throw over to first base to chase Huntingford back to the bag. Huntingford this year with 13 stolen bases. He's been thrown out 5 times, and here is the pitch to the plate, a fastball. Outside corner at the letters for a strike.
You've got to be impressed, though, with the numbers that FIU's put up on the base pass this year coming into the day. 136 of 186.
They have indeed done a great job on the base paths. Here is the pitch, a breaking ball, caught the outside corner to Sherbinski, strike 2. So the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. So Templet starting to bear down a little bit. He has 1 strikeout and has walked 1. At the belt, and the pitch on the way. Fastball at the knees. Called strike 3, and he punches him out. So David Brooks, the home plate umpire, with a called 3rd strike. And that'll be the 2nd strikeout of the afternoon for Templet.
Excellent pitch right there. Spotted that fastball. That was the split finger. And just got right down the pike, and all the hitter Sherbinski could do was stand there and look at it.
So that'll be out number 2 here in the top half of the second inning. FIU leading it 1-0. Picked up a run in the top of the first inning. We'll go back to the top of the order where Barry Polk, the junior center fielder out of Miami, steps up to the plate. And there goes the runner. There was a throw to second base, and he's in there sliding.
That was almost a delay, looked like right there. A delayed steal by Huntingford. And I think the catcher, Mazziotti, may have had a little trouble getting the ball out of the glove as we look at it again. Good jump there for the runner. And the shortstop, Idell, thought he had the sweep tag, but he did not.
Sweeping tag on him, but Huntingford went in sliding safely. So he picks up another stolen base on the year, number 14 this year. And Falk, the left-handed hitter, takes a pitch low and inside for a ball. So the count 1-1 to Barry Falk, who led things off with a screaming double into the power alley in right center field. One ball, one strike. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and it's slapped foul over towards the FIU dugout for strike 2. So Templet works ahead on the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 1 on. A runner in scoring position at second base.
I think a much better inning for Templet also because he's been able to work himself into the counts.
One and 2. Falk with an open stance in the box. Stands up in the front of the batter's box. Here was the ball hit the opposite way. Nelson gloves it. Nice play. Bounces it over to the first sucker. Good job by Poche to dig it out over there. And that will be it for Falk, and that'll be it for FIU here in the top half of the second inning. So they had no runs on no hits. There were no errors, and 1 man is left on base. We move to the bottom half of the second inning with a 1-0 score. Welcome back to Stanky Field. Florida International, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. Louisiana Lafayette, no runs on 1 hit and no errors as we go to the bottom half of the second inning, where Will Hawkins will lead it off for the Ragin Cajuns. He's out of Pearland, Texas, a senior. Plays out in left field. As we mentioned a moment ago, he was out with an injury for the UNO series last weekend. Actually was hurt in a series prior to that right here in Stanky Field when he slid under a fence out in left field, a new constructed fence over there, and cut his leg, required some stitches. Wow. But he's back in there and ready to go now. Fouled the first pitch out of play for strike 1. You can see the clubhouse, a beautiful clubhouse out there, and it was right in front of that clubhouse where he went under the fence.
Well, and you can, if you look very closely down there, you can see where that new bit of fencing was put in.
1 ball, 1 strike as Colazo goes to work with a fastball and backed him off the plate a bit inside for ball 2. So it goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
What a beautiful clubhouse they have here at Mobile. It's been up, I think, about 4 years now. And what a great atmosphere for baseball we have here.
Here's a shot to center field, and Hawkins leads off the second inning with a single right up the middle. Line drive. Polk will pick it up and return it back into the infield as Will Hawkins, the senior, at first base now. So that he represents the tying run on board. Willie Colazo, the little left-hander out of Carolina, Puerto Rico, on the hill for FIU. And you can see Tommy Clark taking some practice swings before he steps up into the batter's box. Clark, a right-hander out of Round Rock, Texas. First pitch by Colazo, misses high and away to him for ball 1. Tommy Clark, 6'2", 215-pounder. There's a throw over to first base. That'll chase Hawkins back to the bag. You got to wonder how mobile he is on the base paths with that leg. Hawkins does have 5 stolen bases this year and 7 tries. Good shot there of Colazo, and a look at Hawkins at first. And the first baseman, Pujol, holding him on, and here is a pitch to the plate. And it's in there for a strike, right down the middle.
Colazo's done a nice job here in the first couple of innings of mixing up his pitches, as we talked about early on. He's a junk ball pitcher. Throws a lot of different things.
Not an overpowering pitcher by any means, as we pointed out a little bit earlier. And he's going to keep the runner Hawkins close at first base. Of course, Hawkins represents the tying run, 1-0. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. And here is a pitch, an attempted bunt by Clark as he bunts it over towards the FIU dugout, where it is picked up by Ozzie Lugo, the freshman pitcher who set a Sun Belt Conference record with saves this year. And we could see him in this ball game today at some point.
Tell you what, he has pitched awfully well this season for them as well.
Good look at Colazo and Clark from our center field camera. And a swing and chopped foul.
Well, they're going to call it a strikeout now, Gary. Apparently, the catcher
caught it.
Hung on.
Yes, he did. Corbeil hung on to it.
Nasty breaking ball. Watch this. I mean, Corbeil did a great job.
He really did.
Down there and glove it. That was almost like a goalie making a glove save on that one. Got it right there just as it got to the dirt.
Strikeout number 2 on the afternoon for Willie Colazo. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. And this time, the catcher Corbeil has to go down into the dirt to catch this one as it goes down low to Jess Poche for ball 1. Poche, a big, strong right-handed batter, the first sacker out of Hester, Louisiana, for the Ragin Cajuns. Colazo to the plate with a breaking ball. Got away from him that time, and it goes outside. So that'll even the count now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Poche is 6'2", 235 pounds, as Colazo, the little left-hander, works him. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Poche can give it a ride. He's got 8 home runs this year. Colazo at the belt as he likes the sign for Corbeil, who steps out and sets up on the outside of the plate, and the pitch is down low for ball 2. So that will even the count now at 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way. Chop foul over towards the Ragin Cajun dugout. Take a look down in the dugout at some of the guys.
Trying to stay cool today.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've tried to stay cool for 4 days here.
Yeah.
It's been sultry. Temperatures in the high 80s to low 90s here in Mobile for the last 4 days. Big sweeping breaking ball. Got Poche swinging. And he'll be out of there for the second straight strikeout here in the bottom half of the second inning.
That's Colazo's bread and butter pitch right there. That big sweeping breaking ball, as we look at it again, just comes out, goes in, and no chance for Poche to get that one.
Drops right off the table. And again, Corbeil catches that ball right down there on top of the dirt almost.
Well, he might find him a career as a hockey goalie somewhere, maybe.
Here's Scott Atwood as he steps up to the plate and takes the first pitch down low for ball 1. Atwood is out of Columbus, Mississippi. He is the designated hitter at junior. Had 44 home runs in junior college. Has 2 for the Ragin Cajuns this year. Tell you what, he hit a ball over the scoreboard yesterday. Didn't even look like he took a full swing at. And knocked it out of here. 2 balls and no strikes to him. And Colazo misses inside again, and it's 3-0.
A la a check swing, huh?
Almost. That was unbelievable. Very strong young guy. 6'4", 215-pounder. And here's the old automatic for a strike. So it's 3-1. Atwood with a little bit of a scowl on his face. Well, he's glaring out there at Colazo, isn't he? There's a 3-1 pitch, foul to the right side. That will make the foul territory. So it'll be full count now at 3-2.
Started 26 games this year, did Atwood. Knocked in a couple of runs against Tulane. Had a big game last weekend in the middle game of that New Orleans series when he went 2 for 3 with a run scored.
Ragin Cajuns with a runner at first base after a leadoff single by Hawkins, but haven't been able to do anything with it. And here's a swing and a miss by Atwood. And boy, Colazo has got his stuff today as he comes back to strike out the side after Hawkins led it off with a single. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played 2, and it's still 1-0. FIU, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Louisiana Lafayette. This is an elimination game. The loser will go home. Of course, Louisiana Lafayette still has the regional to look forward to as they will host it up there in Lafayette. So again, congratulations to them this year.
Tell you what, that's a great honor and most deserving after not only an outstanding season this year, but boy, what a great run they had last year, particularly in the postseason, almost making it to the College World Series.
All right, we go to the top half of the 3rd inning, and it'll be Eric Miller who knocked in the only run of the ball game with a strike from Eric Templet. And here's the next offering, a fastball right there again. And it's strike 2. Both of these pitchers doing a tremendous job here in the early going on a very hot, sultry day. And as we talked about it in the pregame show, it's going to be pitching the story in this final day of this Sun Belt Conference tournament, day number 4. And the hot weather and the pitching staffs are kind of getting down to the nub right now.
Except for South Alabama, because they've only played 3 games, and, you know, they've been able to pretty much save their staff. But, you know, these 2 teams are really, really fatigued as far as their pitching goes.
There's a breaking ball, and Miller stays with it. Hits it in the hole, but the shortstop, Heidel, won't have a play on that one. So Eric Miller is 2 for 2 this afternoon.
Tell you what, he sneaks a lot of his hits in there, like that hit and run in the 1st inning, and then here hitting a ball in the hole. One of those, as old Willie used to say, hit it where they ain't. And that's what he did right there. It was a good effort by the shortstop to get there, but no chance for Heidel to make a play.
Heidel, the all-conference shortstop for the Ragin Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette. That's going to bring up Al Corbeil now. As you see Eric Miller, and now you see Corbeil at the plate. Flied out his first time up to the center fielder. Takes the first pitch on the inside corner from Templet for strike 1. Nice pitch.
Good pitch right there, and you've got an interesting battle here as you've got the power versus power. You know, Templet can be somewhat powerful, and you've got Corbeil who puts up the great bit of power.
And Corbeil hits it left field. That ball is deep, way back. And that ball is going to be out of here. A home run for Al Corbeil. So Corbeil knocks it out of the ballpark for his 12th home run of the year, and all of a sudden it is a 3-0 ball game.
And where he likes to hit the ball, Gary, he likes to go to the opposite field. He was able to slice that one perfectly and got it out of the yard here at Stanky Field. And boy, it just shows you the amount of power that he certainly has and able to get that ball out of here.
All right, Corbeil, the leader of the pack, so to speak, for FIU. And here it comes again. He does go the opposite way with it. Boy, he got a fastball that was up high.
Fastball up high was a split-finger fastball that time from Templet, and he got all of it and got it out of here.
So FIU now with a 3-0 lead, and we're going to have a pitching change. So Eric Templet is going to be leaving after working 2 full innings and giving up 3 runs here in this baseball game. Brian Babin will be the new pitcher. We'll give you the stats on him in just a moment. But for Templet, he goes 2 full. He gives up 3 runs on 5 hits, and we'll be back to bring you that right after this quick timeout. All right, we are back here at Stanky Field in Mobile, Alabama, and Florida International has opened up a 3-0 lead with a big home run by Al Corbeil. Brian Babin will be the new pitcher. He's 2-0 this year, an earned run average of 2.73, struck out 29, and has issued 20 base on balls this year. He's worked 29 and 2/3 innings, given up 17 hits, 13 runs. 9 of those have been earned. So this is the rotation that Tony Robichaux talked about before the ball game, going with the right and then the left, and then if need be, coming back with some more right-handers.
Well, and pretty much that's what he's got to do because he depleted his left-handers early in the week. One of the impressive stats about Babin, teams are only hitting 170 against him. As a matter of fact, during the season in Sun Belt Conference games, teams only hit 172, and coming into the tournament were very impressive 186 mark that teams were hitting against the lefty.
Babin has made 2 appearances in the tournament as we go to play, and Michael Quintana is the batter. And Quintana hit a double to left field his first time up, so he is 1 for 1 today. Takes ball 1 from Babin, and here is a sweeping breaking ball, which will catch the letters for a strike. That'll even the count 1-1. Babin in his 3rd appearance of the tournament with no record, an earned run average of 4.15. He's worked 4 1/3. Here's a fastball, which misses up high for ball 2, and the count goes to 2-1. Babin has given up 2 runs, 1 base hit, has 4 strikeouts, and has walked 5 in the tournament so far this year. Here's strike 2 to Quintana, so that'll even the count to him at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's some pretty impressive numbers that he's put up here in the tournament competition.
2-2 pitch on the way, and it's foul left side as he fought that one off. Went after a pitch on the outside part of the plate that time and managed to stay alive. So Quintana with a count of 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way. Struck him out. So Quintana with not a good swing at that one will go down for the first out here in the top half of the 3rd inning. So a good start for Babin.
And here it is again. I mean, lefties are known for throwing great curveballs. That was a great curveball right there. I mean, no chance at all for Quintana to get to that one.
He took a look back there to see if the catcher Mazziotti had come up with it and tagged him for good measure. That's going to bring up Gus Alfonso, the 3rd sacker. He struck out his first time. Hits a chopper past 3rd base for foul ball as that'll roll down the left field line. Alfonso, a junior out of Miami. Brian Babin, the little left-hander on the hill looking into Mazziotti, and here is the pitch, and here is a ground ball towards the shortstop. Merritt gloves it, throws to first base, and got him. So Tim Merritt, the All-Sun Belt Conference shortstop, guns him out. Or Rick Heidel, I'm sorry, not Tim Merritt.
All right, let's look at Heidel do it again. Sets up perfectly, right to him. A little time there for a pump fake. Make sure he's got it good and then ready to throw, and gets the runner by a step.
Seen so many players this week in the last 4 days and so many games, I tell you what. Heidel out there, boy, he does a great job for them. Here is a strike to the first batter. Pujol standing in. 2 outs now. After 2 runs have scored, though. Fly ball right side, that's going to be foul. It's the top of the batting cage over there.
Pujol has shown some excellent power this year. He went 4 for 4 against Louisville back early in the season, and 3 of those hits were doubles, tying a Sun Belt Conference single-game record.
Flied out to Clark his first time up, and here's that breaking ball. Just missed inside and low with it for a ball, so the count goes to 1-2. Pujol, good look at him in the batter's box. The right-handed hitter stands straight away. Here's a pitch to him. And the ball down the left field line. That's going to go for extra bases. He rounds first as the left fielder Hawkins chases it down over there by the spot he slid into the fence a couple of weeks ago. So he's very careful. And Pujol goes into second base with a stand-up double.
Tell you what, you couldn't have placed that ball any better. Just inside the line and able to keep it in play. Let's look at it again. Good curveball, but Pujol able to get around on it. And you couldn't have placed that ball any better than he did, just inside the line at third base.
Really hit it hard, and that's the 3rd double of the afternoon for FIU, and Matt Huntingford is the batter. Walked his first time. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. He walked on 4 straight pitches his first time. So Babin looking back at the runner at second base, and a swing. Ooh. Strike 1. He had a rip at that one.
Good challenge that time by Babin, and he comes out the victor.
Huntingford stands straight away in the box. Cocks that bat way back there. Here's a 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, hit out towards second base. Gill will field it and will make the throw over to first, and that'll be it for Huntingford, and that'll be it for FIU here in the top half of the 3rd inning. But they come up with 2 runs on 3 base hits. There were no errors, and 1 man is left on. We've played 2.5, and our score is 3-0 now. www.collegesportscentral.com for the latest news and information, as well as an open forum for fans to discuss tournament action. Get the latest scoop from schools around the Sun Belt Conference from College Sports Southeast. For more information about College Sports Southeast, call 205-425-6935 or log online. Some folks entered. Yeah, I'll tell you what, they are enjoying the sunshine here in Mobile. A few umbrellas up to keep them cool, too, Todd.
Keep them cool. No rain, though it looks like it could rain a little bit today. But right now, they're just using them to kind of stay nice and comfy up there in the stands.
All right, we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Louisiana Lafayette facing little Willie Colazo. And it is Stephen Feehan, the leadoff batter here.
Actually, it's Heidel, I'm sorry. Gary.
It is Heidel, yes.
We've had him in all kinds of places today, huh?
I'll tell you what. Heidel out of Gonzales. Well, we know he's from Gonzales, Louisiana. He's a junior. In there for a strike from Colazo. So it's 1-2 as Colazo continues to have great control of his pitches. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. So Colazo has struck out 4 in a row now. And he's really breezing right along.
I tell you, when he is on, he is on. And this breaking ball, no chance for Heidel again. I mean, when he throws that curveball, if it's really got some stuff on it, you can't hit it. There's no way.
So we'll go back to the top of the order where Feehan swings and misses for strike one. He went down swinging his first time up.
Feehan set a career record for Louisiana yesterday with 4 hits. He now has 242 for his career.
Tell you what, he's had a great career. He's out of Metairie, just outside of New Orleans. Played his high school ball at Holy Cross High School. There's a 1-1 pitch to him, and that one is in there for a strike call.
Good fastball that time by Colazo.
1 ball, 2 strikes. A little left-hander peering down, and here comes the pitch. That one got away from him this time, and it's outside for ball 2. So the count will go 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, if Colazo can go a good way in this game today, that certainly will help Danny Price if FIU is successful in winning this ball game.
Absolutely, because they need the pitchers to go as far as they can, as Feehan ripped it foul just past the third base bag. Colazo wipes a little bit of sweat off of that brow, and he'll get ready to go back to work with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes, breezing right along with 5 strikeouts in the ball game. He has retired the last 4 batters, all by strikeouts. Here's a 2-2 pitch and a fly ball hit into short center field. Polk is moving in, and he'll catch up with that one easily and grab it for out number 2.
You know, for most center fielders, that's a long run. For Barry Polk, it's just a trot.
Yeah, he covers a lot of space, doesn't he? I'll tell you what, with the speed that he's got.
I mean, it was just about 6 or 8 steps. No big deal. Put it away.
Here's Ryan Gill, senior out of Baton Rouge, a second baseman. Takes a pitch from Colazo in there for a strike. Gill hitting .444 in the tournament coming into today's game. Had 8 of 18. And here's strike 2.
And again, that breaking ball that's just been so dominant for Colazo today.
Gill's got a double, a triple, a home run in this series of games, I should say. This one's high and away for a ball. So the count goes to 1-2. Some clouds out past the left field fence out there. Scattered clouds in the area might cool things off a little bit. As Colazo misses outside for ball 2, and that'll even the count now. 2-2. See those dark clouds out there?
Maybe it will stay cool, but maybe, hopefully, it won't produce any liquid sunshine.
Absolutely. Here's a line shot left field. That's going to be at Huntingford, and he reaches up with the right hand and grabs it for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Ragin Cajuns. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left, and we have completed 3 innings. Gary Gallup along with Todd Hamilton back here in Lafayette. You can see the towel draped over the shoulder as they wipe away the sweat here in Mobile. It's been a hot 4 days, as we said, but the baseball here has been great. I'll guarantee you. You know, we talked about probably the hitters having an advantage in this ball game, but not so, at least through the first 3 innings, especially. Collazo has really held the Ragin' Cajuns' bats in check.
Collazo has been sparkling, has allowed only 2 hits, has retired the last 6 batters he's faced, and if you go back even to the first inning, 8 of the last 9 men that he's faced.
Take a look at the reliever out on the mound, Brian Babin, as he relieved Eric Templet in the ball game. Little left-hander, and he will be facing Tino Burgos to lead things off here in the top half of the 4th inning as he swings on the first pitch and fouls it off to the left side for strike 1.
Babin's longest stint of the year, 5 of the 3rd innings against Louisiana Tech on March 11th. Struck out 9 in that ball game, 13-8, and he got the win.
Comes a 1-strike pitch, and Burgos swung right over the top of a breaking ball. Strike 2, and the count goes to 0-2. Burgos flied out to center field his first time up, so he is 0 for 1 in the ball game this afternoon. As Babin to the windup, and the pitch struck him out on 3 straight pitches. A good job by Brian Babin.
Excellent piece of pitching right there. Started him off fastball, came back breaking ball, and again a second breaking ball right here. And that's going to catch the outside part of the plate, and boom, he's gone.
Had him reaching all the way for that one. And that's the second strikeout recorded by Babin since coming on last inning. And that's going to bring up Todd Sherbinski. Takes a fastball outside corner at the letters for a strike call. Sherbinski was called out on a 3rd strike on 3 straight pitches his first time up in the 2nd inning. Danny Price chomping on that chewing gum. This one in the dirt as Mazziotti digs it out, and it's ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you know, for both of these coaches in this game, it's got to be a bit nerve-wracking.
Sherbinski was 4 of 11 coming into the ball game today in the tournament, hitting .364. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch, and a little soft line drive left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Sherbinski with the 7th hit of the afternoon for FIU as they'll put a runner at first base.
And a good piece of hitting right here by Sherbinski. Got a pitch down inside and able to get the bat on it and stick it out there for the single. And here comes the ever-dangerous Barry Paulk, and I guarantee you he may be trying to find a way to get that runner over.
Barry Paulk ripped a double in the first inning as the leadoff batter and came around to score the first run on a single by Eric Miller, and then grounded out to Nelson, the 3rd baseman, his last time up. And there is a bunt past the mound. Nelson will field it. Nice job. Throws to first base and got him. Great job by Nathan Nelson, the 3rd sacker.
Tell you what, with a nice bunt by Paulk, he put it between the mound and 3rd base, but Nelson, anticipating the bunt all the way, charged and made a nice play, and he threw Paulk out. Let's look at it again. Perfect bunt between the mound and 3rd base, but Nelson right there to scoop it and make a great play and throw out Paulk by a step.
Well, Paulk did his job on the play, on the sacrifice. That moves the runner Sherbinski up to 2nd base. So there are 2 gone now, but FIU has a man in scoring position, and that's going to send up Eric Miller, who is 2 for 2 today with an RBI and has scored a run.
And again, this is what we've talked about. You know, FIU likes to get runners in scoring position, and they can do damage when they do, and they've shown that twice here today.
And Babin fools him on an off-speed pitch as Miller swings and misses for strike 1.
Only 1 of 2 players that will leave this FIU team after this year. So Danny Price has a lot of these guys back again.
Swing and a miss on an outside fastball on the outside part of the plate, strike 2. FIU trying to defend their Sun Belt Conference Tournament championship that they won last year.
Yep, very tight game it was in New Orleans a year ago.
You remember that well, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
No balls and 2 strikes to count to Miller. That's your runner at 2nd base, Todd Sherbinski. Eric Miller says, you're taking a little bit too much time for me, so I'm just going to call time, step out of the box, which he does. Sherbinsky returning to second base as he broke for third. Now has to go back as time was called by home plate umpire David Brooks. Brooks puts his mask back on and says, let's play ball. 2 out, 1 on. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. So good job by Babin. 2 strikeouts in the inning. And that's going to retire the Golden Panthers here in the top half of the 4th inning. They have no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors, and 1 man is left on base, and we've played 3.5 complete innings. We've on College Sports Southeast every weeknight at 6:30 for the latest college sports news and information. College Sports Southeast is your source for college baseball. For more information about College Sports Southeast availability, call 205-425-6935 or log on to our website at www.collegesportscentral.com. Fans enjoying this one, at least the FIU fans are. I think we're looking at some Cajun fans right there, and their team needing to come back a little bit here, Todd.
Fans are a little antsy right now. They want to see them get something going, but it's tough to do when you've been throwing the ball as well as Willie Collazo has in this ball game today for Florida International.
All right, Nathan Nelson, who made a great play on that bunt a moment ago, will lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning and swings at the first pitch and hits it right field. Quintana, moving to his right, will have plenty of room and has that one measured for the first out here in the bottom half of the 4th. So 1 up and 1 down, and Colazo breezing right along now as he has retired 7 in a row.
And 9 of the last 10 that he's faced.
So that's going to send up Danny Mazziotti, the catcher. He is 0 for 1, flied out to right field his first time up. Mazziotti, the All-Sun Belt Conference selection for the 2nd straight year, a senior out of Houston, Texas, played some junior college ball at San Jacinto Junior College. Pro scouts are really high on this young guy. Here's a pitch to him by Colazo. It's in there for a strike. Willie Collazo with a big breaking pitch, missing low and inside this time for ball 1.
Colazo's longest end of the year, Gary, was that game up at Western a few weeks ago on May the 5th. And that pitch is in there for strike 2. Went 8 1/3, gave up 9 hits, 3 runs, walked 1, struck out 3, took the loss, a 3-2 loss in that ball game.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, he's breezing right along this afternoon. The heat doesn't seem to be bothering him. If anything, it seems to be helping him. Here's a comebacker. Colazo deflects it over to the shortstop. He's up with it. There's a throw to first base. Mazziotti diving, but doesn't quite get there as Miller throws him out for out number 2.
And a great stretch by Puyo on that play to come up with the ball. Miller makes an excellent throw, but Puyo pulls the a la Tony Pena and stretches out perfectly to get that one. 1-6-3 will be the scoring on the play. Here it is again.
Right off of the glove of Colazo. Just almost knocked his glove off. We saw a ball that was hit so hard back to the mound, I think it was in last night's ball game, that knocked the pitcher's glove right off his hand. It looked like he'd just taken his glove and thrown it out there on the mound. Strike 1 to the next batter, Will Hawkins. Hitting from the right side, 2 up and 2 down. Here is a little number back to the mound. Colazo off to the right will glove that one and will throw him out. And it's an easy inning here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. There are no runs, no hits, no errors. Here at Stanky Field, Gary Gallup along with Todd Hamilton, FIU. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, no runs, and only 2 hits. And no errors for the Ragin Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette. Willie Collazo, the little southpaw for FIU, has really held him in check.
Done an excellent job of pitching here today, Gary. 9 in a row retired in 11 of the last 12. And really, Babin did a pretty nice job in the last inning, his first full inning of work. He only allowed 1 hit to FIU and has allowed only 2 hits since he's come into the ball game and retiring 6 of the 8 batters that he's faced.
And has 3 strikeouts in that bunch, too. Looking at Babin as he steps up onto the mound for Louisiana Lafayette.
And we'll look at Al Corbeil's home run earlier off of Eric Templet. And there was no doubt about when it left the bat. As we talked about earlier, he likes to go to the opposite field, and that's been the big blow today as the Golden Panthers have the 3-0 advantage.
Corbeil stands in to face Babin and takes the first pitch in there for a strike. He is 1 for 2. Flied to center, and then, of course, hit that 2-run home run in the 3rd inning to give his team a 3-0 lead. Here was a breaking ball. Strike 2. So good job by Babin. Babin goes to the windup in the pitch. And this one will go low and away for a ball. So the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corbeil with sort of an unusual batting stance. Stands straight away. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Pochet will flip it over to Babin on the cover. And that will retire Corbeil for out number 1 here in the top half of the 5th inning. Brian Babin makes his way back to the hill. Little left-hander for the Ragin Cajuns.
Pinch hitter for FIU, number 9.
Hector Nunez will be a pinch hitter for FIU for Michael Quintana here in the top half of the 5th inning. Nunez, 5'10", 183-pound freshman. He's out of Hialeah, Florida, a right-handed batter. And here is the pitch to him from Babin, and it's in there for a strike. Boy, Babin has been right around the plate, as he's done a great job since coming on in relief. Nunez hitting .270 this year. He's got 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. As Babin misses with the ball, that evens the count now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nunez swings at an off-speed pitch that was low and away, strike 2, so good job by Babin, and Babin continues to have good control of his pitches here.
Tell you what, he's been throwing the ball awfully well here. Nunez has started 39 games in right field coming into the tournament this year. He's had his average as high as .327 during the course of the season.
Swing and a miss over the top of a breaking ball as Amaziati drops it and then tags him out, so Nunez is out of there on 3 strikes, and that's the 4th strikeout for Babin this afternoon.
And that's Babin's pitch. When he gets that breaking ball over, and these guys are just getting over the top of it, and just no chance. That was a great down and inside pitch that time. Dropped off the table very nice.
It really did, because Nunez wasn't even close on that one.
No, nowhere at all.
Gus Alfonso prepares to step into the batter's box, struck out and grounded out as Babin looks in for the sign, okays it. And here's the first pitch, and a swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Alfonso. Two out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th inning for the Golden Panthers as Babin misses inside for a ball, and that'll even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. FIU with a 3-0 lead. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Ragin Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette. Here's a fly ball, right field. Clark waiting, and will make the catch for the out, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning in the top half of the 5th inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We have completed 4.5 with our score still 3-0. Sports Central on College Sports Southeast every weeknight at 6:30 for the latest college sports news and information. College Sports Southeast is your source for college baseball. For more information about College Sports Southeast availability, call 205-425-6935 or log on to your website at www.collegesportscentral.com.
And quite a neat website it is.
Yes, it is. Tell you what, they do a great job over there. We've got a pretty good ball game going here in this elimination bracket. The loser will be out. The winner will go on to take on South Alabama, who has breezed right through the tournament here at their home field, Stanky Field. They're 3-0 and have been impressive, too. And, of course, we'll talk about them in our next telecast as we bring you the championship game.
A little double dipping today.
Clark is leading it off here in the bottom half of the 5th inning as Colazo works in with 1 ball, 1 strike right now. Clark went down on strikes his first time up, so he is 0 for 1 this afternoon. Ball 2. Clark back out of there, takes a practice swing. out of Round Rock, Texas. Home plate umpire David Brooks says, let's play ball. And Colazo misses down low, and it's ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to count to the batter, Clark. Clark came into today's game in the tournament hitting .267. He had 4 hits and 15 at-bats. As Colazo is in there with strike 2, and it's full count.
Had great success against Louisiana Tech up at Ruskin. Though he strikes out on this pitch, he was 8 for 13 in that series.
And Colazo was behind on the count and came back to get him on strikes. His 6th strikeout of the afternoon, and the second time that Tommy Clark has gone down swinging.
And 10 in a row. That looked like me swinging a pitching wedge. Except he'd have to stand in the left-handed batter's box to make it look right.
Jess Poche will be the batter for the Ragin Cajuns. First pitch to him is down low. Poche is a strikeout victim of Colazo this afternoon.
Boy, Colazo just can't talk enough about how well he has pitched here today.
Poche came into the game hitting .444 as he fouls this one down the right side. So that'll even up the count. Poche with 8 hits and 18 trips to the plate. 3 RBIs.
And that after a tough series against New Orleans last weekend when he went 1 for 13.
Poche had a big home run yesterday. He can hit it a long way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colazo ahead of him in the count. This is outside this time. Got away from him a little bit. Two balls, 2 strikes. Poche's got 9 home runs this year. 29 RBIs. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. Got him again.
Colazo is amazing. That's all you can say. That was a nasty slider that stayed outside, and what a great pitch by Colazo. We'll look at it again. Check this one out.
For strikeout number 7 on the afternoon, outside, and Poche couldn't catch up with it. There it is again. Little left-hander for FIU, just doing a whale of a job. 7 strikeouts this afternoon. That brings up Scott Atwood, who has also been a strikeout victim. And here is a breaking ball right over the plate for strike 1. Went down swinging on the 3-2 pitch his first time up. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 and a fastball on the outside part of the plate. So Colazo works ahead of the batter right off the bat with a count of no balls and 2 strikes.
Colazo's best performance, 6 strikeouts, April 21st against Arkansas Little Rock.
0-2 pitch on the way. Just missed outside for a ball, so the count goes 1-2. The outfield for Atwood, pretty much straight away, medium deep. A little bit of a breeze blowing out towards left field this afternoon. I would say about 5 miles an hour. Here's a ground ball to Miller at short. He gobbles it up, makes the throw, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning again here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on the base paths, and we have completed 5 with our score. FIU 3, ULL nothing. Top half of the 6th inning of a 3-0 ball game with the Golden Panthers out on top. Scored a run in the 1st inning, came back with 2 more in the 3rd on a 2-run home run by Al Corbeil. And Louisiana Lafayette just hasn't been able to get to the little southpaw Willie Collazo at all.
Tell you what, he has been spectacular today. And the Cajun fans really now starting to kind of get a little antsy here as we move along to the 6th inning. And I think they're just stymied kind of like we are in watching how well Colazo has pitched here today.
And this ball game moving right along. Raul Pujol, the first baseman, will lead things off here in the top half of the 6th inning as he makes his way to the batter's
Now,
box.
Gary, you're not supposed to say this ball game's just
No, that's right.
along.
I forgot. That's going to change it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
you've jinxed us.
That's right. Well, let's see. Maybe we can break that trend here today. Swing and a miss by Pujol. Strike 1.
Several years ago, I was broadcasting in the minor leagues, and we had a game similar to this. Tell my story in a second.
All right. Babin works him with another breaking ball. Just missed with that one for a ball, so that'll even the count to him at 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 for 2 today. Flied to right and doubled to left in the 3rd inning. Babin's fastball is right there on the outside corner for a strike, so it's 1-2.
And I did the same thing. We're about an hour and a half into the game. We're into the 7th inning, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be an easy night. Wrong. 18 innings and 5 hours later.
Is that right? Well, you know, it usually happens. I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
Error.
2 balls, 2 strikes to the batter. The first sacker for FIU, and here is a line shot center field. He'll have his second base hit of the afternoon, and FIU puts the leadoff man aboard here in the 6th. So Pujol 2 for 3.
Good pitch made, though, by Babin, but a good piece of hitting right there as Pujol got the part of the bat on the outside part of the plate where that pitch was and able to rifle it into right center.
Drove it right out there as he hit it where it was pitched. So that's going to send up Matt Huntingford. Huntingford walked and grounded out, so 0 for 1, squares around the bunt and takes the pitch high for ball 1.
You know, this is Florida International's kind of game. They like to get a guy on and then take the opportunity to bunt. They are so good at that.
Talk about somebody that likes to do that, too, is South Alabama.
They've always liked to do that.
Yes, they have. Babin at the belt, and he's going to go to first base with the throw. That'll chase Pujol back to the bag over there. He has 5 stolen bases this year. Been thrown out 3 times. Good look at him over there. Good look at Babin now as he gets his sign. Pitch to the batter, and it's in there for a strike.
That one just nipped the outside corner. Excellent pitch.
Huntingford squared around to bunt it and then took it. Babin looking in. Danny Price went through a series of signs over in the third base coaching box. And we're ready for the 1-1 pitch. Squares around the bunt. Bunts it right side. The first baseman, O'Shea, will underhand it. Over to Gill covering at the bag, and the sacrifice is successful.
Second time today, FIU's been able to get that sacrifice down and move the runner along. The last time in the 4th inning, Pauk did it, but the runner couldn't score. We'll see what happens here. That pitch was kind of up and in, kind of jammed him a little bit, but a good job by Huntingford to get the bat down and get it in play.
So the successful sacrifice moves the runner to second base with 1 out, and Tino Burgos steps up to the plate. And this one is down in the dirt. Nice stop by Mazziotti back behind home plate. Ball 1. Burgos is 0 for 2 today. Flied out and struck out. Burgos, the junior out of Miami. Babin steps back off of the rubber now.
And I'm sure Mazziotti is just telling the pitcher right now, look, you've been in good control most of the day. Let's kind of get it back into that groove where you were a little earlier in this game.
Brian Babin on in relief of the starter, Eric Templet, as Babin came on in the 3rd inning. After Corbeil had knocked it out of the ballpark to give the Golden Panthers a 3-0 lead. Babin misses outside this time for ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Burgos asked for time for a moment. There you see Pujol, the runner at second base, with his lead. Good shot from center field. And ball 3. Missed it. Low and away.
Here it looks like the umbrellas are starting to pop up with good reason now. Looks like we're getting some sprinkles coming in.
Well, we've had some threatening clouds throughout the day. I think the weatherman called for isolated showers. Here's a fastball, ball 4 up high, and he walked him. So that's the first walk issued by Babin this afternoon, but now FIU has runners at first and second with 1 man out here in the top half of the 6th inning.
And Tony Robichaux is going to make a visit, and I think he's going to tell him the same thing that Mazziotti was trying to a while ago. Hey, you know, you've been pitching a good ball game here. Don't get behind. Don't let that base hit get you rattled and the 2 guys on base. Just pitch your ball game and do what you got to do to get the guys out.
And he's really done a good job since he came on in the 3rd inning, as he's given up only 2 base hits and has done a yeoman's job of striking out 5 and just has walked his first batter just now. So there you see the conference going on out on the hill. Babin shaking his head, yeah. So everybody in agreement, it looks like.
And the rain is now picking up.
Yeah,
here.
look at it. Yes, it is indeed. Looks like that might be one of those little cloud bursts. Hopefully that's all it will be, and we'll pass over, Todd, hopefully anyway. But the fans are scattering, I'll tell you that.
Well, and the umpires now have just stopped the thing, and they're going to call for the tarp to come onto the field, and looks like we're going to have a little rain delay.
And this is the situation here in the top half of the 6th inning. Florida International has runners at first and second base. There is one out. And FIU leads in this ball game by a score of 3-0. And the rain is coming down pretty hard right now as the fans starting to scatter and head for shelter underneath the grandstand. People with umbrellas are even coming out of the stands right now. So I don't say that I blame them, because we can talk about it because we're up here nice and dry in the booth.
Nice and dry, yeah. Hopefully this won't last very long, but looking back to the west a little bit from our vantage point, looks like it may be here for just a little bit.
All right, well, we have this rain delay, Todd. Let's bring everybody up to date on where we are. Top half of the 6th inning once again. Florida International is leading in the ball game by a score of 3-0. They have runners at first and second, and while we have this rain delay, we're going to take a quick break and send you back to our studios. Welcome back to Eddie Stanky Field after the rain delay, about 46 minutes this afternoon. The shower seems to have passed, Todd, and the fans are all back in the stands, and the baseball players are ready to go. Take a look into that Louisiana Lafayette dugout, and looks like nothing ever happened here for the last 45 minutes. Let's continue with this ball game. And when we left you during the rain, it was in the top half of the 6th inning with runners at first and second base with one man out. FIU at the plate, of course. And Brian Babin is still going to be on the hill as we resume play. I noticed that Willie Collazo was warming up also a few minutes ago, so they'll be coming back with him. And you got to wonder now if this is going to benefit either one of these ball clubs now, and who will it?
Well, it's a big question to see. You know, if Babin with a little bit of rest now, maybe he has got some good feeling back and can throw well, and can Colazo continue upon the pace that he has been going on throughout the course of the day today?
Colazo had given up only 2 base hits and had struck out 7 and hadn't walked anybody. Officially 47 minutes on the rain delay. And as we go back to play, Todd Sherbinski steps up to the plate for Florida International. The right-handed hitting designated hitter was 1 for 2 this afternoon, and Brian Babin works him with a fastball for a strike. Sherbinski singled to left his last time up, was called out on strikes in the 2nd inning. There you see the base runners. Pujols at second base and Burgos over at first base. And Sherbinski going to step out of the box. Big sigh there. Blow it out.
Yeah, get it out of your system and kind of get regrouped and recharged a little bit after the delay.
No balls and 1 strike to him as Babin, the southpaw, goes to work with a breaking ball, and it's in there for strike 2.
You know, he had been in pretty good rhythm with his breaking ball before the rain delay, and it looks like he's kind of picking right up where he left off.
Doesn't look like he's missed a beat at all out there. Pujol, the runner at second base, with a pretty good lead. And the 0-2 pitch on the way, and it's down low and inside for a ball. So the count goes 1-2. Sherbinski, the number 9 man in the batting order for Florida International. Babin with the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Boy, just missed with that one. So that'll even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Big pitch coming up right here for Babin. A key pitch.
Sherbinski, a good hitter. 352 his average on the year with a home run and 18 RBIs. Babin whirls off the mound, but nothing doing there at second base as Pujol gets back. So FIU trying to add to a 3-0 lead here in the top half of the 6th inning after the 47-minute rain delay. A nice little shower, kind of cool things off, actually. And the pitch is low and inside for ball 3, and it's full count.
Well, and that after Babin was able to get an 0-2 count, he's come back and he's been trying to nip the inside part of that plate and has missed on the last 3.
So 3 balls and 2 strikes. A full count to Sherbinski. Hitting .364 in the tournament, had 4 hits and 11 at-bats coming into the ball game today. Payoff pitch. Foul back to the screen.
Looks like the Cajuns do have some activity going in the bullpen along the left side.
Well, you've always got to wonder how these pitchers will come back after a 45, 47-minute delay.
Yep.
And I'm sure FIU is really wondering how Colazo is going to come back, because he was doing a great job. Comes a 3-2 pitch again, and it's foul back. Sherbinski continues to fight it off. Foul that one back behind home plate to the right.
Babin's some fastball, breaking ball on the last 2 pitches, and Sherbinski's done a good job to stay in there.
Babin looking in for the side, has the one he likes. And here's the payoff pitch again, and he misses low and away with his ball 4, and he walked him. So that's the second straight walk in the inning. And that's going to load the bases with Pujol moving over to third base. Burgos will move up to second, and Sherbinski will be on first with the walk. So 2 walks here in the inning now by Brian Babin. And all of a sudden, the Ragin Cajuns in a little bit of a jam here, as FIU will go back to the top of the order with Barry Polk, the center fielder, who led off to start the ball game with a screaming double in the gap in right center. Rounded out in the second and then sacrificed in the fourth. So 1 for 2 officially. You never know what Polk is going to do. He may be bunting. He may knock it out of the ballpark. Nice breaking ball from Sherbinski, or from Babin is in there for a strike.
As Danny Price told us pregame, Barry is Barry. You just kind of let him do his thing. And he does it very well.
Left-handed batter stands slightly open in the box. Will choke the handle of the bat just a little bit. And the pitch to him, breaking ball. Missed outside with that one for a ball, so the count will even now. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Babin doesn't have any place to put him. The sacks are loaded. Pujol's at third, Burgos at second, and Sherbinski over at first base. And 1 ball, 1 strike. The count to the hitter, Barry Polk. Babin misses high for ball 2. So the count goes 2-1.
I think Babin getting a little frustrated. He's thrown some pretty good pitches here in this stretch, Gary. He's been nibbling a lot at the corners, but just not been able to get them.
So a big pitch here at 2 balls and 1 strike. It's on the way, and it's way up high with a fastball, ball 3. So Babin in danger of walking in a run.
And you know Tony Robichaux's got to be sitting over in that Cajun dugout as we get a look at him. A little bit on pins and needles right now.
There he is. He's chomping on that gum, giving that a workout. 3 balls and 1 strike. Babin goes to work with a pitch. In there, strike 2, full count, 3-2. Danny Price, his counterpart, hoping his team can manufacture a run or 2 here in the 6th inning.
3-2 count, 1 out.
Full count. Babin into the stretch at the belt. Here was the pitch, low and away. He missed it, ball 4, and he walked, and that walks in a run. Here comes Pujol to make it a 4-0 ball game now. FIU. Burgos will move over to third base. Sherbinski up to second. Polk is aboard on the 3rd straight walk now by Brian Babin, and Polk will be credited with an RBI. So FIU extends their lead to 4-0 now, and the bases are still loaded, and there is 1 man out. That's going to bring up Eric Miller, and Miller has had himself a good afternoon so far. He's got an RBI single in the 1st inning, single to left in the 3rd, and came around to score as he was aboard on Corbeil's home run, and then hit a comebacker to the mound in the 5th.
Danny Price spending a lot of time talking to Miller. He took a long look over into the dugout. I don't know if he was trying to think about bringing on a pinch runner or something, but he elected not, and I think he just wanted to spend a little time with Miller and say, hey, with the drawn-in infield, you've got to get the ball in play somewhere. First and third baseman will play up on the lip right here, and then you'll have the middle infielders looking for 2, and now Tony Robichaux will take the long walk to the mound.
And that may be it for Brian Babin, who has given up a run here in the 6th inning, as Pujol led off with a single to start the inning, and then he was sacrificed up to second base on the bunt by Huntingford. And then Burgos walked, and then Sherbinski walked, and then Polk walked, a walk and a run. So one is in, bases are still loaded, and we've only got one man out here in the top half of the 6th inning, and that may be it for Babin. We'll wait and see as Tony Robichaux is out there on the mound, still has his troops gathered around him, and that will be it for Babin, as we're going to have a pitching change here in the top half of the 6th inning. Going to be a right-hander who will come back for Louisiana Lafayette.
In the pitch for the Raging Cajuns, number 30, Aaron.
It's going to be Wellborn.
The new Raging Cajuns.
Aaron Wellborn will be the new pitcher, and we'll be back at you right after this timeout. Right-hander will be on the mound in relief, the third pitcher to be used by the Raging Cajuns this afternoon. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, a junior out of Henderson, Nevada, out of Lassen Junior College. So the Raging Cajuns trying to stop the bleeding here a little bit in the 6th inning, as FIU has scored a run on 3 consecutive walks by Brian Babin, who went 3 1/3, gave up 1 run on 3 base hits. He struck out 3 and he walked 4. So, or vice versa, struck out 4 and walked 3, and all those walks coming here in the 6th inning.
Wellborn leads this Cajun ball club with 8 saves, his 4th in school history with that tally.
So Wellborn, the right-hander, on the hill in a jam here with the bases loaded, and here's the pitch to Miller, and he hit him. So that'll score another run, and that will be charged to Babin as Burgos will score from third base. Sherbinski will move over to third base. Polk moves up to second, and Miller is hit by the first pitch from Wellborn, and that makes it 5-0 now.
Fastball got away from the pitcher, it looks like. Came a little sidearm that time and just got him in the shoulder blade and up in the upper back section.
That brings up the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, Al Corbeil, the catcher, who has a home run today. And Wellborn will work very carefully to him as he misses outside for ball 1. Keep in mind the bases are still loaded. A home run and an RBI, of course, in the 3rd inning. 2 RBIs with his home run.
Corbeil had a grand slam I know of earlier this year against Western Kentucky. He really jacked one.
Taking a look at the base runner. That was Sherbinski over at third, and this pitch by Wellborn as he uncorked this one way outside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. And all of a sudden, the pitching staff is just having a heck of a time for Louisiana Lafayette. We talked about this at the top, Todd. How was the pitching staff going to be able to work through this day in the 4th day of the tournament?
4th day of the tournament, and the rain delay may have had a factor here. And we're kind of, I think, seeing the effects of it right now.
3-0 pitch. Walked him on 4 straight. So that will score Sherbinski, and that'll make it a 6-0 ball game. And an RBI for Corbeil on the walk.
That's a 4th walk in this inning. And Robichaux's already back to the mound again.
Indeed he is. Polk is over at third base. Miller is at second base. Corbeil is at first base now. 67th RBI on the year for Corbeil.
And looks like Bullinger, I believe, is going to come out of the bullpen. Nope, Gordon O'Brien it's going to be for Lafayette right here, Gary.
So they're going to pull out all the stops. There is no tomorrow, of course. Don't need to leave anybody in the bullpen at this point. And while we have a new pitcher, let's take a break. Our new scores, 6-0 FIU. To Stanky Field, the new pitcher for the Ragin Cajuns will be Gordon O'Brien, a right-hander. And this afternoon, he will be the 4th to be used by Tony Robichaux. So Ragin Cajuns trying to put a stop to it here in the 6th inning, but FIU has erupted for 3 runs, but the pitchers have given up 4 walks and also hit a batter, and certainly not helping themselves at all.
Well, the pitching is just kind of falling apart for this club. O'Brien, a sophomore from Montreal, Quebec, out of Concordia University and College de Montreal. You know, he would easily rank among the nation's leaders in strikeouts per 9 innings, 16.8 if he had enough innings. He has struck out at least 2 batters in 15 relief appearances this season, including 8 straight during one stretch of the season. And with the Cajuns leading 4-3, ended a rally against Western Kentucky back in the series down in Lafayette on April 22nd with a huge strikeout.
So O'Brien on the mound, the fourth pitcher to be used by the Ragin Cajuns. He'll be facing Nunez, who came in as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning and stayed in the ball game out in right field for Quintana. Left-handed batter, and here is the pitch to him. And a swing and a miss for a strike. So that's the first strike that we've seen in a while by Cajun pitchers.
Quite a while, actually.
Nunez is 0 for 1, struck out his first time up this afternoon. So O'Brien checks with Mazziotti for the sign, and here comes the 1-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So a welcome sight for O'Brien right now. He's got 2 strikes on the batter. O'Brien this year working in his 23rd ball game. He's worked 24 innings so far this season. Has a record of 1-3, an earned run average of 3.0. He has 45 strikeouts, 17 walks this year. Has given up 13 runs and 19 base hits. He's at the stretch with the bases loaded, and here is the pitch to the plate. Struck him out on 3 straight.
Good fastball inside part of the plate that time, and that is a huge out for the Cajuns right there, and a great piece of pitching by O'Brien. Look at it again. Fastball's going to come inside, then dip down and away. No chance for Nunez to get around to that one.
Florida International has scored 3 runs here in the 6th inning. They've had only 1 base hit, but they've been aided by 4 walks and a hit batter. That's going to send up Gus Alfonso, the 3rd baseman, who's 0 for 3 today. Struck out, grounded out, and flied out. He has the bases loaded with 2 men gone. Would like to pick up a little bingo here and add a few insurance runs to his team's total. And here is the first pitch to him, and O'Brien is in there with a strike.
4 straight strikes.
Alfonso hitting .306 on the year, 4 home runs and 34 RBIs this season. O'Brien at the belt. And the pitch. Low and away this time for a ball. So that will even the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch in the dirt. Nice job by Mazziotti to keep that ball out in front of him that time. All-conference catcher for the 2nd straight year. Two balls, 1 strike. There's a good look at the pitcher, Gordon O'Brien, the right-hander. Pitching to Alfonso, hitting only .167 in the tournament, 2 for 12. And here's the pitch to him, a little check swing, and he fouls it back to the right side now to play. So he's the 9th man to come to the plate here in the inning, which was extended by 47 minutes because of the rain delay. But FIU with a 6-0 lead now over Louisiana Lafayette here in the top half of the 6th inning. O'Brien at the belt. Bases are still loaded. Pitch to the plate. Fouled. Right off the TV camera over there down the first base side.
Better check that camera. I think he got up there in the viewfinder, so.
There we go. Check it out.
Let's get it up close and personal. Doink.
Good job over there.
Yeah. Hang in there, guy.
Pitch to the plate. Look out. We got this one.
Oh,
bang.
Right off the window.
Right in. We would have caught that, Todd.
We would have. Do you think?
Hey, thank goodness for this glass right here.
Yeah, really. Do you think Gus is trying to tell us something? Wow.
He's trying to wipe out the whole crew, I think.
We'll wave a white towel. I'll say, we surrender.
Pitch again. And here is a fly ball left field. Left fielder Hawkins going to go back. He's going to have room to make the catch and will. and that will finally retire the Golden Panthers here in the 6th inning. However, they come up with 3 runs on 1 base hit. There were no errors, and 3 men were left on the base paths. Back here at Stanky Field. Log on to www.collegesportscenter.com for the latest news and information, as well as an open forum for fans to discuss tournament action. Get the latest scoop from schools around the Sun Belt Conference from College Sports Southeast. For more information about College Sports Southeast, call 205-425-6935 or log online. Well, there's an interested Cajun fan. Right now, not too much to cheer about.
No,
Todd.
Unfortunately, FIU had a strong inning in the 6th, and they kind of pushed this thing out to a 6-0 advantage. Now, after the long delay, we'll see how Willie Collazo will be, because he has been just masterful and retired 12 in a row, and 14 of the last 15 batters he faced.
Colazo has a shutout going. He's given up only 2 base hits and struck out 7, has not walked anybody. You know, he pitched in the first day on Wednesday against Louisiana Tech. He went 8 innings in that ball game. He gave up 4 runs and 7 hits. Here is a check swing, and the ball knocked right in front of the mound. Colazo off the mound, grabs it and throws him out. So Colazo did not get a decision in that FIU win, which went 10 innings, 6-5 over Louisiana Tech in the first game of the Sun Belt Conference series for them.
A little easy play here for Colazo. Ball slowed up a little bit by the bit of turf. It's a little bit damp after the tarp being taken off, but Colazo made a nice play and got back to it. 13 in a row now. He's retired.
So Heidel becomes the first out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They'll go back to the top of the order, where Stephen Feehan steps in. He's 0 for 2 today. He's struck out and flied out. Feehan out of Metairie, Louisiana, a senior. As Colazo misses for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
He's had a real good tournament up till today and just has been stymied by Colazo.
Boy, everybody has been stymied by Colazo, haven't they?
Yep.
There's a strike. And the count goes to 2-1. Feehan does a great job out in center field for the Ragin Cajuns. Here's a pitch to him, and it's ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Feehan was hitting .588 in the tournament. He had 10 hits and 17 at bats. And today he's still looking for his first hit. Pitch from Colazo, and he popped him up on the infield. Pujol, the first baseman, calling for it, and will make the catch in fair territory. So Colazo works out of that little predicament with Feehan, where he was behind on the count, and now has 2 men gone here in the bottom of the 6th.
And make it now 14 in a row for Colazo, and he jammed him with that pitch on the inside part of the plate. Feehan hit it off the fist.
So Ryan Gill, the second sacker, steps up to the plate, hits a shot past the third baseman Alfonso down the line. Could be good for 2. He rounds first base as the throw comes in sliding, and Gill is in there with a double.
Hit that one perfectly between the line and where the third baseman Alfonso was playing, and no chance for the Golden Panther third sacker to come up with it. And that's the first hit for the Cajuns, Gary, since a leadoff single by Will Hawkins to start the 2nd inning of play. As we look at it again, Gill, a good piece of hitting right here, just placed it down the line, right between where Alfonso was in the line. I mean, you couldn't have placed that one any better.
21st double of the year for Gill, so the Ragin Cajuns have a runner at second base, and here's a line shot right field by Nelson. Here comes Gill around third base. He'll be held there, and now Nelson's going to go to second on the throw. Now they got him caught in the hot box, and he's going to be tagged out, and the run will not score. So a single for Nathan Nelson, and he is run down in the hot box, and Gill is not able to score for third base. And so FIU is out of the inning, and the Ragin Cajuns have no runs on 2 hits. There are no errors and 1 left. We've completed 6, and it's 6-0 FIU. Cajun side.
Yeah, they've got a little work to do. They had a little inkling of a rally going in the 6th, but Nelson retired on a fine 9-2-6 play, and The momentum swings back now to FIU as they come up to the plate.
And Pujol will lead it off here, as he did last inning, as they batted around, and takes a strike from Gordon O'Brien for strike one. Pujol flied out, doubled and singled, and also scored a run in that 6th inning. 1 strike to him. O'Brien with that overhand fastball misses down low for a ball. So that will even it up 1-1. O'Brien rubs up the ball just a little bit. And will now look in for his sign from Danny Mazziotti. Has the one he likes. And here comes a 1-1 pitch. Here was a ground ball to the right of the first baseman, Poche. He's going to underhand it over there to O'Brien. Had a little arc on that one over there, Todd, but he got it there in time.
Kind of a softball throw, but it was up high. But O'Brien able to get up there and flag it down and get the out. We look at it again, that throw a little high, but O'Brien makes a great catch like a post player would in basketball, able to come down with it, step on the bag, and get the out.
So nice play by the first baseman, Jess Poche, and there's 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Huntingford, Matt Huntingford, the left fielder. A left-handed batter, and here is the pitch to him, and a fastball is right there for a call, strike 1. Huntingford still looking for a base hit today. He's 0 for 1 officially, has walked and has a sacrifice back in the 6th inning. And he's trying to bunt for a base hit. Bunted it a little bit too hard right back to the mound, where O'Brien will shovel it over to the first baseman for out number 2.
And that was a little better throw that time. O'Brien just made the egg toss over the first base and got the out there.
So 2 up and 2 down here in the top half of the 7th inning, and since O'Brien came into the ball game, he's pretty much breezing right along. He's retired 4 in a row.
4 in a row, and done quite well.
Tino Burgos, the batter. 0 for 2 in a walk, scored a run. Here is the pitch to him, and a nice fastball for a strike. Burgos, the 2nd sacker out of Miami, a junior. Look at those eyes as he stares out to the pitcher. And the fastball from O'Brien is low and inside this time for a ball. So the count will even up now at 1 ball, 1 strike to the little 2nd sacker, hitting .211 this year. Has a couple of home runs, 8 RBIs, not a lot of run production. Has 5 stolen bases once he gets on the paths, and swings and misses. May have foul tipped that one back. Strike 2. 1-2. So O'Brien trying to make it a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the 7th inning. And is ahead on the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter, Tino Burgos. Struck him out. So it is a 1-2-3 inning. 3 up and 3 down for the Golden Panthers here in the top half of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Your crane needs, call Craneworks at 205-801-6020. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Danny Mazziotti, Will Hawkins, and Tommy Clark for Louisiana Lafayette. And the Ragin' Cajuns need to get something going here, Todd.
As we talked about in the last inning, they did get a couple of hits back-to-back off of Colazo, but the inning ended, unfortunately, when Nelson was caught in that rundown. They're going to have to start swinging the bat, something after the first game in which they lost to Western Kentucky. They've done very well, except for today. Only 4 hits allowed by Mr. Colazo.
Mazziotti is 0 for 2 today. Flied out and grounded out, so still looking for a base hit. Hit .291 on the season. Had 13 home runs and 36 RBIs. First pitch from Colazo was ball 1. Mazziotti waving that bat around just a little bit. Colazo's fastball is there for a strike. That'll even it up at 1-1. Ragin' Cajuns batting in the bottom of the 7th inning and down 6-0 as Colazo came in and caught the inside corner at the knees for a strike with a fastball. Colazo not taking much time now. He's working quickly as he knows he's got something going. Here's a comebacker off his leg, and nobody's going to get to that one. So Mazziotti will get himself an infield base hit. Ball was hit hard. It ricocheted off Colazo's leg and over towards second base, and of course nobody could get to it. So the Ragin' Cajuns put the leadoff runner at first base here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll send up Will Hawkins, who has 1 hit and 2 trips to the plate.
Hard hit ball back off the right leg and kind of funneled toward first base, but as you said, no chance for anybody to get to it.
Colazo out of the stretch and catches the outside corner with the first pitch for strike 1.
Gary Gilbert Landestoy, a right-hander, is loosening up for Florida International just in case.
Landestoy was the closer, or at least came on to pitch the 10th inning on Wednesday when that ball game went to extra innings. That was the ball game that Colazo started and went 8, and then Landestoy pitched the 10th inning, and he got the win, actually. A 6-5 win in 10 innings. Attempted bunt comes back to the screen, strike 2. So Colazo works ahead of the batter on the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Little William Colazo, Willie they call him, out of Carolina, Puerto Rico. He's only a junior, so he'll be back next year, probably. Misses outside for a ball.
Only 2 seniors on this FIU club, as we talked about earlier.
1 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. FIU leading it by a score of 6-0 in this elimination game. Line shot to the first baseman Pujol. That'll be the easy double play. As the big first sacker lunges at it and stabs it. Scrambles back to the bag to double off Danny Mazziotti. So Pujol with a couple of good plays here in the last couple innings.
Yep, scooping one out of the dirt and making this play here. Mazziotti was going on contact, but it was a screamer hit right to the first baseman. And we look at it again. Great play by Pujol. And Mazziotti halfway to second, no chance. He just goes and steps on the bag, and that's out number 2.
Holy cow, we almost had another foul ball on the glass here, Todd.
Everybody's taking aim at us now.
Wow. That one just to the right, just missed the box.
Where's the fishnet when we need it?
Strike 1 to Tommy Clark. Clark is 0 for 2, has struck out a couple of times today, and Colazo, by the double play, has 2 outs now. That's the first double play of the afternoon. Here is the pitch, and it's down low for a ball. So that'll even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike to Clark out of Round Rock, Texas. Clark hit .274 on the year, and he rips this one out into center field for a base hit. So he is aboard with a single, second hit of the inning. So the Cajun bat's starting to get a little better contact right now, Todd, in the last couple of innings.
Finally figuring out Colazo and a way to get to him. And we'll look at it again. That was just good, solid contact. That was a fastball down the pike, and they're finally figuring out where Colazo spots that ball, and they're able to get to it and hit the ball hard. They've now had 4 hits in the last 2 innings, have the Cajuns.
Runner at first with 2 out, and the batter is Jess Poche. First sacker, struck out and struck out. Colazo misses outside with his offering for ball 1. Poche on the year, a .261 hitter, had 9 home runs and 29 RBIs this year. Swing and a miss. Boy, he had a rip for that one. He was going for the downs.
Big time. He had a huge cut.
One and one. All evened up to Poche. Was hitting .444 in the tournament. 8 hits and 18 at bats, and he fouls this one third base side. Strike 2. So Colazo works ahead in the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Poche back into the batter's box. And Colazo has a new baseball and ready to go back to work as he steps back up on the hill.
And Colazo again has been ahead in the count so much today.
Don't know what his pitch count is, but it can't be very high. I know that.
I wouldn't think so.
Maybe we can pick that up here in a minute. 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the batter Poche. It is on the way, and he misses with a changeup outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So a full count to the batter. Went full count to Scott Atwood in the 2nd inning. And just at a glance, that's the only other full count I can see. Here is a foul ball ripped right side past the dugout, so the count will remain at 3-2. So I think he's only gone, no, I take it back. He went full count to Clark also in the 5th, so this is the 3rd batter that he's gone full to, but that's not too bad in 6 2/3.
94 pitches for Colazo today.
So he's done a heck of a job. Struck him out on a fastball, sawed his bat off right on the handle there on an inside fastball, inside part of the plate. Strikeout number 8 on the afternoon, so no runs on 2 base hits. There are no errors and 1 man is left. We have completed 7, and it's 6-0 FIU. Top half of the 8th inning, 6-0. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. 0-6-0 for Louisiana Lafayette. And Gordon O'Brien has been breezing right along as he'll go into the 8th, retiring 5 in a row. Todd Sherbinski will lead it off. Out of Coral Springs, Florida, sophomore, designated hitter. He's got a hit in 2 official trips, a walk and a scored a run today. Tony Robichaux looking out. And right now, his troops down 6-0 as we go to the late innings.
You know, every time I think about Sherbinski, he was the pinch runner that scored the winning run last year for Florida International in that 3-2 win over Western Kentucky in the Sun Belt Final in New Orleans.
Right-handed batter, and here was the first pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1.
But you know, in the 2 years that FIU has been in this league, Gary, they have made quite an impact, particularly in baseball.
They really have. Of course, winning the tournament last year, and Sherbinski takes strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes.
And of course, with the new folks coming in, Middle Tennessee will certainly solidify the Sun Belt in baseball.
It's going to be a fun league with the new additions. Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State, North Texas coming in. Sherbinski takes it upstairs for ball 1, and the count goes to 1-2. Right-handed hitter stands straight away in the box. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Swung at a ball that bounced up to the plate. Mazziani blocked it. Will have to pick it up and throw it down to Poche for the out. But back-to-back strikeouts now for Gordon O'Brien, and that's out number 1 here in the top half of the 8th inning. 3
strikeouts for O'Brien, 1 in each inning. Of course, he got the last 2 outs of the 6th and is now into his 2nd full inning of work here.
So FIU will go to the top of the order, where Barry Paulk will step up to the plate. Paulk started the whole thing today with a double and then scored on a single by Miller, which gave FIU a 1-0 lead in the 1st inning. Swings at the first offering from O'Brien and misses, strike 1. So Gordon O'Brien has come in and done a great job for the Ragin Cajuns.
Really has. Welburn just couldn't get it done after Babin pitched effectively for a short spell.
Paulk officially 1 for 2 with a walk and a sacrifice, and a fastball is there again, strike 2.
And you know, it's going to be interesting to see where he might go in the pro draft, and if he elects to forego his senior year and go on into the minor league system somewhere.
Tell you what, he can do a lot of things. The pitch in there, strike 3, punched him out. He knew it.
Nothing he could do. I mean, that was a fastball outside part of the plate, and all he could do was just stand there and watch it. That was a great pitch. And here we look at it again. O'Brien just throwing some serious gas right there, outside part of the plate, and Paulk just stood there and watched it go by.
He says, oh, no.
Yep. He said, I should have got after that.
And here is Eric Miller, who takes a strike. So O'Brien is just standing in there and firing strikes down at him right now, Todd. Next pitch, just missed with that one on the inside a little bit for a ball, so that'll even it up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's just saying, all right, I'm going to throw darts at you. You take your best shot.
Miller has got 2 hits today, has scored a run, has a couple of RBIs, and this one will go down low to him for ball 2. So the count is 2-1 to Eric Miller. Miller hadn't had a great tournament up until today's ball game. He was 2 for 14 for a 143 average, but today he's done a good job. And this one bounces up to the plate for ball 3, so it's 3-1. So as soon as we talk about O'Brien and throwing all strikes, he starts throwing balls. Doesn't that always happen?
Bad luck.
3-1. Ripped center field. The center fielder over after it, and Feehan will chase it down for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down here in the 8th inning. Nothing across the board. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. It's still 6-0. Sports Southeast welcomes loyal affiliates for providing quality sports programming to their viewers. For more information about how you can receive College Sports Southeast on a full-time basis, call 205-425-6935 or log on to www.collegesportscentral.com. All right, moving right along, and we can say that again now, Todd, because we are moving right along.
We are moving along. Despite a 47-minute rain delay.
Yes. For Louisiana Lafayette in the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Scott Atwood to lead it off. He's 0 for 2 today. And he rips this one left field. That ball may be out of here. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I saw him hit one yesterday, and he has put the Ragin Cajuns on the board with a leadoff home run here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, his 4th of the year. And it is now 6-1.
Fastball right down the pike. And there was no doubt about it.
15 RBIs for Atwood on the season now, the junior college transfer out of Columbus, Mississippi.
And for Colazo, the 4th home run he's given up, and the 35th of the year for FIU pitchers. And I tell you what, Atwood knew it when it left the bat.
He got all of that one, didn't he? So that will send up Eric Heidel, the shortstop. 0 for 2 today, a strikeout, and a hit back to the pitcher where he was thrown out. So Eric 0 for 2. And here is the pitch to him, a breaking ball, which is in there. Strike 2, so Colazo coming right back after the batter after giving up the home run to Atwood on the first pitch here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. So that ruined a shutout. It's 6-1 now as Colazo misses outside just barely for ball 1. And the count will even at 1-1. Good look at Rick Heidel. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him. Ooh, just missed on the outside that time, didn't he?
Pretty good pitch that time, and a good job by Corbeil to spot it. But it just barely missed.
Count even, 2-2. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Strikeout number 9 on the afternoon for Willie Colazo.
Off-speed pitch that time, up in the zone, and Heidel just took a wave and a miss, and that's what I tell you, Colazo's been so good with that all day.
So 1 is out, and we'll go back to the top of the order now, where Stephen Feehan, the center fielder, will be the batter. He is 0 for 3. A strikeout, a fly out, and a pop-up, and he hits it left field. Going to be room for that one, though, as Huntingford will run it down for out number 2. So after the home run, Colazo comes back to get Heidel on the strikeout, and then the fly ball to left off of the bat of Feehan, and it's 2 outs, and that'll bring up Ryan Gill, the second baseman. Gill's had a good day. He's 2 for 3, a single and a double. Flied to left in the 3rd inning. Colazo misses outside barely for ball 1. He's gone 7 2/3 so far today. Caught the outside corner with that pitch for a strike, and that'll even it up now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gill started the day in the tournament hitting .444 with 8 hits in 18 trips to the plate. Right now ahead on the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Nathan Nelson, the on-deck batter. 2-1 pitch on the way. Jammed him on the handle of the bat that time, and he fouled it out. So the count is even at 2-2. Well, Colazo didn't seem to be phased too much by that home run, did he?
Not at all. He just went right back to work.
This one is in the dirt and comes all the way back to the backstop for ball 3, and it's full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes to the batter. Ryan Gill, a senior out of Baton Rouge. Gill hit .351 this year during the season. He had 4 home runs and 35 RBIs and fouls this one right side.
It's interesting to note about that home run, Gary, that that's the first one Colazo had given up since April the 9th, ironically, against Louisiana Lafayette.
Wow. So he goes 6 weeks. Here is a grounder. Third baseman Alfonso fields it, makes the throw, long stretch, and got him. Nice job by Gus Alfonso, the third sacker, and that'll be it for the Ragin Cajuns here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. They do pick up 1 run on the home run by Scott Atwood. 1 run, 1 hit. There were no errors, and nobody is left on the base paths. We have a new score. It's FIU 6, and the Ragin Cajuns 1. Well, the Ragin Cajun fan that we saw a moment ago has decided to take a nap, Todd.
Get a little suntan, take a nap. Why not?
I like the hat, though.
That's a great hat.
Take a look at Gordon O'Brien out on the hill as we go to the 9th inning.
The 9 strikeouts by Willie, Colazo.
Al Corbeil will lead it off. So for Colazo, his 9, that's the high for the year for him.
That's his career high.
Career high, all right.
One of the other FIU pitchers, Jerry Courtney, had 10 in the game against Western Kentucky back on March 17th.
Corbeil standing in with a count of 1 strike. O'Brien goes to work with a breaking ball and misses outside for a ball. So that'll even it up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, he really rounded off the exclamation point for Florida International with his home run back in the 3rd inning today.
Made it 3-0. And here is the pitch, and he hits a fly ball center field. Feehan is going back, still going back in front of the fence, and he'll not get it. It's over the fence. Home run number 2 on the day for Al Corbeil.
And he hit that one to the deepest part of the yard, Gary.
He did indeed. Now there's your exclamation mark right there, too, Todd.
Put it right in the solidity. No question about that.
Second home run of the day for Corbeil, RBI number 3. Of course, has scored 2 runs, and that makes it a 7-1 ball game.
It's his 3rd 2 home run game of the year. The other 2 came May 5th and 6th against Western. And here it is again. Fastball outside part of the plate. Corbeil got it all. Center fielder Feehan made a run, but no chance.
And that is the first hit given up by Gordon O'Brien since he came on, and boy, Corbeil gave it a ride. And that makes it a 7-1 ball game here in the top half of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch to Hector Nunez. Up for the 2nd time. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch on the way outside for ball 2. So it's 2-0. Nunez playing out in right field. Actually, Michael Quintana started, and Nunez came in to hit for him in the 5th inning. 0 for 2 today. Here is the pitch, and it is outside again for ball 3. So that one might have shaken up Gordon O'Brien just a little bit.
Rattled him.
And it is 3 balls and no strikes. Look at O'Brien out on the hill as he goes back to work, has his sign. And the 3-0 pitch to the plate is in there for a strike, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. A run is in. Corbeil's leadoff home run, his 2nd home run of the day. 7-1 FIU trying to advance into the championship game against South Alabama. And boy, South Alabama's playing so well. This pitch misses outside for ball 4, and he walked him. So that'll put a runner at first base with nobody out. And that'll bring up Gus Alfonso.
And Tony Robichaux wasting no time here, Gary. He's already trotted to the mound, and looks like another hurler is going to come out of the pen.
Looks like this will be number 5 this afternoon for the Ragin Cajuns.
And that's going to be Bullinger, I believe. Yep.
Trey Bullinger, he came in and pitched the last inning yesterday against Florida International. And we're going to take a quick break with FIU up 7-1. Bullinger On the hill for the Ragin Cajuns, the 5th pitcher of the afternoon, and this is a young guy that can really bring it to the plate. He can bring it at 90 plus.
Well, they said yesterday on the gun that he was throwing it over 90 miles an hour, around 92, 93. He's out of Clinton, Louisiana, via Mississippi Gulf Coast Junior College, and has had a sparkling year.
He was 2-0 during the regular season, 1.93 his earned run average. This will be his 19th appearance in the ball game. 23 1/3. Gave up 5 runs, 16 hits. All of the runs were earned. Struck out 27 and walked 10. So FIU with a runner at first base with nobody out here in the top half of the 9th inning. Bullinger on to face Gus Alfonso. Alfonso is 0 for 4 today, looking for a base hit. First pitch to him is ball 1. Alfonso back out of the box as Bullinger looks in for his sign from Mazziotti. And we'll go to work at the belt. And the pitch in there, strike. Bullinger with kind of an unusual delivery as he brings that ball right from behind his head. You know, hides that the ball pretty good, so might make it a little bit difficult for the batters to pick up. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Missing outside and high for ball 2, so it goes 2-1.
Of course, he has a little bit of major league blood in his family. Jim, pitcher for the Cubs, among other teams that he has tossed for.
2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on the way, fly ball deep left field, goodbye. That one's going to go over the scoreboard. Wow. Alfonso gave it a ride. 5th home run of the year for Gus Alfonso. And FIU extends the lead. That will make it 9-1.
Well, one thing about the home runs they've hit today, Gary, they've all been no-doubters. When they've left the bat, they were going. No doubt about it on all 3 of them that they've hit out of here.
2 home runs here in the inning. One by Corbeil and now a 2-run homer by Alfonso. And, of course, Corbeil with 2 home runs today. Let's watch that again.
Bullinger coming with a fastball inside, and Alfonso got all over it.
Raul Pujol swings at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. Took something off that one. Pujol's had a good day today. He's got 2 hits in 4 trips to the plate. Scored a run in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So it's no balls and 2 strikes. FIU has added 3 runs here in the top half of the 9th inning. 9-1 is the score. And barring a miracle for Louisiana Lafayette, it looks like FIU is going to move on to play South Alabama.
And the pitching, if Colazo can finish it off here today, Danny Price will have him a pretty good stock of pitchers he can use in that championship game.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Little number right off the end of the bat. Second baseman charges, just flips it over out of his glove. Nice job by Gill.
What a play.
Flipped it right out of his glove over to Poche for the out. Out number 1 here in the top of the 9th inning.
It's just like he got it, and it was just like a shovel pass. And here we go at it, looking at it again. Bullinger tried to get it, gets by him. Second baseman Gill just kind of just shovels it out of the glove, and a great play.
Nice play by Gill, the second sacker for the first out. That will bring up Matt Huntingford, the left fielder. Has walked, has grounded out, sacrificed, and hit a comebacker to the mound. So officially is 0 for 2 today. Pitch to him, and he chops it right back in front of the plate. Mazziotti out to grab it, makes the play. Nice job by the catcher to throw him out. So another difficult play, and another good play by Louisiana Lafayette.
Well, they've shown you that they can make some good defensive plays with those last 2 plays for sure.
However, some damage done before this with 3 runs on 2 home runs, 2 balls that were crushed. Let's look at this again.
Pitch down and in. And just, boy, I tell you what, Gary, that almost looked like it hit his foot.
Let's look at it again.
Watch.
Oh, it did.
It did.
Yeah.
Popped off the inside of the right heel.
Hey, nice job by our camera crew.
That had to hurt in more ways than one.
Excuse me, it should be 0-2 and 2. It should be 2 and 2.
No balls and 2 strikes, as they did call it a strike, and now here is a swinging strike 3. So Huntingford is out of there on strikes anyway.
Well, it's a K2-3 instead of just a 2-3 play.
Right.
Pitch on the inside, down low, and no chance. As that one went down in the dirt, and Mazziotti made a good throw to get him out at first.
Second out here in the top of the 9th inning, and that'll bring up Tino Burgos. Burgos, the left-hander, wide open stance, swings at the first pitch, hits it right back to the pitcher. Bullinger's got it. He'll shovel it over to Poche, and that'll be it for Florida International here in the 9th inning. But damage is done on 2 home runs. There were 3 runs on home runs by Corbeil and Alfonso. There were no errors, and nobody is left on the base paths. Bottom half of the 9th inning, last chance for Louisiana Lafayette. They're down by 8 runs. Faithful fans up there still waving the pom-poms. Not too many people here from Florida International made the trip from Miami. There's South Alabama. Just waiting in the shade over there, waiting to go to that championship game against the winner of this one.
Well, even though they had a late night last night, they've had a chance to get a little rest this morning and be ready to go for this one. And this man has been the big star today, Mr. Willie Collazo.
Absolutely. Nelson will lead it off, and he's going to hit it deep left field, and I don't think that one is going to stay in the ballpark, and it is out of here.
Welcome to Home Run Derby, folks.
Oh, man. So Nathan Nelson, the leadoff man here in the 9th inning for Louisiana Lafayette, drives it out of the ballpark, and for Nelson, his 5th home run of the year. 40 RBIs this season now. That'll make it a 9-2 ball game.
Well, and I think Danny Price is just content to let Colazo go on and finish it no matter what happens here as far as this goes. I mean, he's pitched a brilliant ball game. Here it is again. Fastball right down the middle.
Right down the middle, wasn't it? And Nelson knew. Look at him throw that bat away.
I love that. That gets a 10 for artistic ability in throwing the bat.
All right.
But at least he wasn't like Barry Bonds and would stand there and admire it.
Yeah.
You know, Barry's notorious for doing that.
So both of the Ragin' Cajuns' runs have been on home runs this afternoon. Scott Atwood drove it over the scoreboard last inning, and now Nelson leads off with a home run here in the 9th. And this pitch to Mazziotti is fouled right off the end of the bat for strike 1. Willie Colazo has allowed 8 hits this afternoon, has scattered them, given up only 2 runs, struck out 9, and has not walked a batter.
Boy, he's had a brilliant game.
Nine to 2. Breaking ball had him swinging. Strike 2.
If you're a fan of good pitching, you've probably enjoyed watching him pitch today.
Really has been a lot of fun. No balls, 2 strikes, the count. Mazziotti, the all Sun Belt Conference catcher. Pitch up high to him this time for a ball, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2. Will Hawkins is on deck, and Tommy Clark in the hole as Colazo misses outside for ball 2, and that'll even the count now at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out here in the 9th as Nelson knocked it over the fence to make it a 9-2 ball game. And here is a shot center field. Paulk is going back, still going back on the run, but he's going to run it down. Nice running catch by Barry Paulkin straight away center field on a ball that was hit hard, but it just goes as a long out.
But he makes it look so easy. My goodness, does he make it look so easy out there. We'll look at it again.
Mazziotti hit it right on the nose.
Right on the button. And Paulk just gliding with ease back there. And little acrobatics thrown in with it, but no sweat. Hauled in.
So Will Hawkins will be the batter. 1 out, swing and a miss on a ball that was on the inside portion of the plate. Strike 1. Hawkins singled his first trip to the plate today, and then hit a comebacker, and then lined out to Poche, who stepped on the bag to double off Mazziotti in the 7th inning on a shot that was really hit hard. 1 ball, 1 strike as Colazo
Out there on the hill, the little southpaw done a masterful job in this ball game. This ball is fouled out of play. So strike two. Colazo was 6-5 on the year. His earned run average was 4.65. Had one complete ball game before today.
Tell you what, and he's had a couple of close calls as well.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Took something off of that one, swing and a miss. And Hawkins is out of there on strikes for the second out. Strikeout number 10
and that
in the ball game.
That ties the season high with Courtney, who also had 10 strikeouts in a game earlier this season.
So 2 are gone here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. FIU 1 out away from advancing to the championship game against South Alabama as Colazo misses outside to Tommy Clark for ball 1. Clark is 1 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts and a single in his last at bat. Colazo comes in with a strike. That will even the count, 1-1. Clark hit .274 on the year. He had 6 home runs, 38 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. Colazo misses outside this time. Ball 2. 2-1. Little left-hander with a little bit of a grin on his face there. And why not? Here is a pop fly right side. The first baseman Pujol in foul territory, now in fair territory, makes the grab, and the ball game is over. In the inning for Louisiana Lafayette, they had 1 run, 1 hit. There were no errors. Nobody is left on the base paths. The only run in the inning coming on Nathan Nelson's home run. And both Louisiana runs came on home runs today as Florida International wins it by a score of 9-2 to advance to the championship ball game against South Alabama in just a little while this afternoon here at Eddie Stanky Field. For the winners from FIU, 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left 8. And for Louisiana Lafayette this afternoon, they had 2 runs on 8 hits. They did not commit any errors, and they only left 4 men on the base paths. A brilliant pitching job by Willie Collazo. So we're going to take a quick time out here in just a moment. 9 runs of the winners, 7-5. And Eric Templet, the starter, was the loser. He is now 7-3. Corbeil, of course, with 2 home runs in the ball game and 3 RBIs, and the team shake hands and a great deal of sportsmanship here.
No doubt about it, and you got to give Louisiana a lot of credit. You know, they started out the first game, struggled against Western Kentucky, fought back to this point, but Colazo was just too much today, too much FIU for the Cajuns, but certainly going to be interesting to see how they'll go in the NCAA tournament as Lafayette will be hosting a regional.
FIU wins it 9-2. We'll be back here at Eddie Stanky Field in just a moment after this timeout. It by a score of 9-2 to move into the championship game against the South Alabama Jaguars coming up in about 45 minutes from right now. And we got Coach Danny Price downstairs, the winning coach of this afternoon's ball game. Danny, congratulations on just a superb performance this afternoon by your team and your little southpaw, Willie Colazo.
Well, he was everything I'd hoped he'd be today. I think Willie went out and did a good job. I told you he was crafty, and I think he kind of developed a couple different pitches today, but he did a great job. We needed a great start out of him, and I didn't expect a finish out of him, but I thought he did a wonderful job. We got some key base hits and played good defense, and we're fortunate enough to beat a good ball club. Danny,
the rain delay certainly didn't hurt him because he came back. Yes, he did give up a couple of home runs, but he was able to still find a way to get some guys out.
Absolutely. You know, anytime there's a rain delay and you've got the momentum in your dugout, you know, you worry about those things. But at the same time, you know, we talked about it in the rain delay and everything, that we had to go right back out and take control of the ball game. And of course, Willie was in control the whole game, I felt.
So Danny, your team has 1 game now for the championship against the South Alabama Jaguars. When you look at these guys, this has been the surprise team of the tournament here.
Well, they're a good group of kids. That's for sure. South Alabama's a great ball club, and they've really played as well as anybody in the conference the last half of the season. So we're really looking forward to playing them. We're looking forward to playing in the championship. This is what you play for to get to the final game of a tournament.
We talked to you about Corbeil before the ball game, and boy, this kid had a day for you. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and can't ask for much more out of a youngster than that, can you?
Absolutely not. I thought he did everything but sold concessions, I thought. So he did a great job. So if we can get that one more time, we got up early this morning to get here, and it's been worth it so far. We just got one more big ball game, and hopefully it'll work out for us.
And now with the fact that you were able to go with Colazo the entire game, I guess you have to feel pretty good about the pitching if it gets tight in this one.
Well, we don't know what we're going to start right now. That's why I got to break away and get to our coaches and figure out who we're going to start this one. We thought we were going to use a lot more, obviously, for this game, so we got several people that we got in mind, so I don't even know what we're going to do yet.
Okay, Danny, hey, congratulations, and good luck in the next ball game in the championship against South Alabama.
Thank you very much.
Danny Price, the coach of FIU. The Golden Panthers win it by a score of 9-2. We'll be right back after this.
Coverage of the 2000 Sun Belt Baseball Tournament. I'm Dave McDaniel, along with Sun Belt Commissioner Wright Waters. And Commissioner, this conference continuing to grow. We'll talk about baseball in just a couple of more minutes, but you've got some brand new members coming into the conference starting next season.
Oh, Dave, we're really excited about the addition of Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State, and also North Texas. Additionally, University of Idaho comes in for football only, and Louisiana Monroe comes in for football only. So we'll be a nice 1A league. We'll be 12 teams next year in all other sports, playing in 2 divisions. It's just it's really kind of an exciting time in the Sun Belt Conference.
Bringing in some great football teams. We talked about Middle Tennessee State earlier. We know all about the Blue Raiders program right there out of the Nashville area, Murfreesboro, and also the University of Idaho as well.
Oh, they're absolutely super teams. New Mexico State, Tony Samuels is just doing a great job down there, former Nebraska assistant. And you look at what Coach Dickey's doing at North Texas. I think an interesting statistic, Dave, that a lot of people don't look at is in the recruiting services. Generally, this group of schools have been rated 90 to 100, somewhere in there in recruiting. But this year, all of a sudden, with the addition of a bowl game to play for, the addition of a conference championship opportunity, all of a sudden they jumped up anywhere from 60 to about 72 in various recruiting services. So we had a huge jump in the quality of our recruiting, which tells me that we've got a future in football, and we're excited about it.
Let's talk a little bit about the baseball tournament here today. Now, we know that primarily Louisiana Lafayette has a regional wrapped up. University of New Orleans right on the doorstep, possibly even in, and maybe even FIU, but South Alabama is going to have to win this game coming up next here on College Sports Southeast in order to advance to the tournament.
Well, I think that's right, Dave. I think South Alabama obviously has to win the tournament. They had a slow start, although they are playing great right now. I think coming into the tournament, they'd won 12 of the last 14 and really on a roll. And they've just had a great tournament here. FIU, I'm not sure that FIU doesn't need to have a win here too. Their schedule, they've had some complications around their facility on campus, and that has forced them to do some scheduling things. And we have tried to convince the committee to look at the whole picture on that and not just statistic numbers on that. But they're a very good baseball team. Danny's done a great job with them, and we feel confident that UNO certainly deserves to be in the tournament. Our regular season champion swept Lafayette last weekend, and we're a pretty salty little baseball league. You know, when you see the RPIs, and we'll be 5th to 6th out of 31 conferences. This is a league that can justify 4 teams in, if that's the way the committee feels.
A lot of folks around the country are really learning what the Sun Belt Conference is all about, and of course we talked about expansion. Denver came in with some of their sports as well, so that kind of got you out into the West Coast. Suddenly we talked about Idaho as well. It just seems like pretty soon the Sun Belt's not only going to be named for obviously the southern part of the United States, but pretty soon coast to coast.
Well, we've been very careful with the expansion, Dave, and it, you know, on first blush, people look and they say Denver to Miami, that's so far. And it is a long way, but we've really built it around major hubs and major airports and major metropolitan areas. Even in the New Mexico State expansion, we looked at, is it easier for them to travel east or travel west? And what we found out is coming out of Dallas or coming out of Houston, they can travel to any of our schools in one hop. So, you know, it's a different age. We're not a bus league. And once you get on that plane, I told somebody the other day, I can leave my office in New Orleans and be in Denver in 2.5 hours. I used to leave my office in Asheville, North Carolina, and it was 5.5 or 6 hours before I got to Charleston or Statesboro. So as long as you understand the airplanes and that sort of thing, we're bringing it together. And I think the quality of programs and the quality of sports offering is a lot more important than a few hundred miles.
Well, I know this conference is going to continue to grow, and best of luck.
Thank you. We appreciate it, and thanks to you guys on CSSC. You do a great job for us.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Wright Waters of the Sun Belt Conference. More live action, the championship game in the 2000 Sun Belt Conference Baseball Tournament coming up in about 30 minutes or so, right here on College Sports Southeast.